Nationals are in.
Okay.
I have a hard time seeing that as a bad thing. First of all, it changes absolutely nothing. The Mariners have still gone their entire existence since 1977 without a trip to the World Series. I choose to go from the other end, Dennis Patchin.
Okay, that's fine.
The other end is, hey, look, because the Expos have been around 9 years longer than the Mariners, okay?
That ought to make you feel
good. The Mariners got a 9-year window to not be the most pathetic franchise in Major League history.
I think, Rick, you can make a case they might be the most pathetic franchise
right
now.
No, man, they got a 9-year window, Dennis.
How are they not the most pathetic?
Because they could get to the World Series next year and beat the Expos / Nationals by 8 years.
Today, how are they not the most pathetic franchise in Major League Baseball? Because here's what I did.
Because the season's not over, that's why.
Okay.
The season's over in 9 years.
Okay. That's good for you. I'm glad you rationalized that in your head. Because you can make a case today, and I don't think it's a stretch, that they are the most, what's the word I'm looking for? Futile is not the word. Inept franchise when it comes to postseason success currently in Major League Baseball. I went back and looked. Okay, and you know what? If you're a Nationals fan or even an Expos fan, I don't know how the Expos fans feel about that franchise. Probably like we feel about Oklahoma City. So you're not cheering for that team. I went back and looked at teams that haven't had a lot of postseason success. The Florida Marlins have been there twice. Okay, they are by far the least successful team when it comes to getting to the postseason in Major League Baseball. They've been there twice. They've won 2 World Series.
They've only been to the playoffs twice?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
And they've got a ring for each time. That's amazing.
Hold on. Let me double check that.
That could be right. I guess I would have guessed that they would have made a dumb wild card game or won something else, but maybe that's right. That's astounding, though.
Yeah. They have been to 2 postseason appearances, won 2 World Series. Okay.
Wow.
That makes them the greatest postseason team in the history of baseball.
Well, they're the only ones with a 100% winning percentage, I think. Now,
never lost a playoff series.
Here's the other thing I did is, if you lost the wild card game, I wiped that out. I wiped that appearance out to satisfy Steve. Okay? And here are the teams, at least, that I think that you can have this discussion with. Okay? The Tampa Bay Rays have made 4 postseason appearances, 3 past the wild card game. Okay? They've won 1 league championship, 1 World Series. That's Tampa Bay.
Okay.
The Montreal / Washington Nationals have played 5 times now in the postseason, 1 league championship, 1 World Series. The Arizona Diamondbacks have played 6 times in the postseason, 5 if you take a loss out of the wild card. They have 2 league championships, 1 World Series, and they have a victory. Colorado Rockies, 5/4, 1 league championship, no World Series, not even winning a game in the World Series. They got swept. The Seattle Pilots / Milwaukee Brewers have made 3 league championships, 1 World Series, 5 total appearances. San Diego Padres, 5 total appearances, 2 league championships, 2 World Series, no wins. And the Seattle Mariners, who have only made 4 postseasons, 3 league championship series, no World Series. Those are the teams because of, and most of those teams haven't been around a long time. In concert with teams that have been around since the start of the National or the American League. Those are the teams that certainly haven't had a whole lot of success. But it's hard if you're not gonna pick the Mariners here. I think it's either the Brewers or the Padres, maybe the Rockies. I don't think you can pick the Florida Marlins.
Well, I mean, no, I wouldn't. They've won 2 World Series.
Yeah.
That's.
And the Mariners, the stretch of postseason appearances is 4 times in 8 seasons? 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 2000. 7 seasons. So there's one group of guys, in essence, that got you to the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, give or take a few guys. Sure.
Yeah.
But Edgar was on all 4 teams.
Yeah. I think Dan Wilson was on all 4 teams. There's a couple of guys, but what this is there's a core group, and after that, nothing. Guys, this, you can make a case that the Mariners now today, as far as postseason success, are the worst team in baseball.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you can make that case. But the Nationals win last night, once I really thought about it, made me say, okay, it took them since 1968, that franchise since 1968, to get to a World Series. And even this year, they were below the 500 mark in June. And so they even came back this season. It not only can happen for the Mariners, Dennis, it will happen for the Mariners.
I'm sure they're going to get to the World Series.
And
But 9 years from now, when you're retired and I'm dead, are you going to say, well, I was wrong because the Mariners still haven't got to the World Series, so I guess they are?
Yeah, well, I'll tell you this. If they get through this resurgence they have with these great young players they have who we're going to really start seeing in earnest next year, and they do nothing with it, then I'll start to feel a little depressed. Right now, I'm actually excited.
Well, I don't know how you can be.
I'm not. I wish I was on Steve's side. I wish I instead of Houston taking Houston as our team, I wish I'd taken the Nationals.
Well, we can always change.
Cinderella proves it can be done.
Just because, except the Washington Nationals are way better than the Mariners have been over the last 15 years.
Oh, I know.
It's not even close
they
with
got,
the athletes they have.
They got 2 great pitchers.
Well, and they got some great offensive players.
No, they
as
do.
well.
They absolutely. I mean, they unloaded what's his bucket,
Bryce Harper,
and got better.
Yes,
they got better once he was gone.
Teams have done that before. Mike says the Marlins bought their first championship.
They did. They totally did. Yeah.
I don't care.
And then they had a fire sale.
If it's so easy, then the Mariners should go do that.
That was the old Wayne
Right,
Huizenga thing there.
Let's go buy one then. Thank you very much.
Yes. I'm looking at this, trying to look at this rationally and logically. And while it's great that Washington is in and another team, and Steve gets his hat.
Yeah, I get a new hat.
Man, that's exciting.
Yes, Steve gets a new hat.
Yeah, I'm anxious to see it.
But guys, the Nationals getting in made me go back and look at this. I mean, I guess the other team that you can talk about is has been awful. Because I also went back and looked at their overall winning percentages in team history. The Philadelphia Phillies, who've been around since 1883,
Yep.
have a worse overall winning percentage than the Mariners. And what I did is I looked at the Mariners, and then I looked at all of the teams below them, overall winning percentage, and the success they've had. And San Diego's one of those. Miami is next. Tampa is next. Colorado. Philadelphia, who's played 20,788 games. But because they've been around so long, they've made 7 appearances in the postseason. You can make a case, the Philadelphia Phillies, because they've been around since 1883 and have played only 7 times in the postseason, you can make a case that that team is the most feudal in Major League Baseball history. but they have won a World Series
What?
in postseason history, Steve, because of the number, using the Rick Lukens logic.
No, but they have to have been in the playoffs more than 7 times.
No, excuse me, the World Series 7 times.
Okay.
The World Series 7 times. They've only won 2 World Championships since 1883. Using Rick's logic, you can put the Phillies in the same boat as some of these other teams because they've been around longer. I don't think you can put the Florida Marlins in there. They haven't been around as long as the Mariners. No, they haven't been around as long as the Mariners have. Text us your thoughts on this, 315-7833, 315-7833, or read some of your texts.
The only tweet I've liked today, and I'm not going to like any other tweets today, Bleacher Report put out a thing, they're one of the many, that said Mariners are now the only MLB franchise never to appear in a World Series. And it's got a picture of Kyle Seager looking like he's given up, he's just got this I give up look on his face. And Jared Kelnick retweeted that with this comment. Things change.
You know what?
That got me excited.
Good for him.
Yeah.
Okay? When you get there, we'll take you off this list. We'll reevaluate this.
It actually got me excited.
And Julio Rodriguez also tweeted that same Bleacher Report Kyle Seager picture that says, that's about to change.
Yes. And those two guys are bros, man.
Yep. And then Kelnick said, bro, you literally just said the same thing I did with different text.
It's gonna and that just made me think, and I know yes, I'm being pie in the sky, okay?
You are
fully admit it.
Today, you are 6 pies in the sky.
Fully admit it. But that's what turned me on this whole thing. The Mariners, the only team never get the World Series. Well, look, the Nationals just did it. We're next, baby.
No.
We are next.
You are next.
Yes, because there's nobody else. That's
said
it.
Yes.
Do not have expansion until we get in, okay?
If it takes you 50 years, you are correct today in saying we're the next team to break the streak.
We're next, baby.
Here's the other thing that piles on top of that. They've got the longest non-playoff drought in the top 4 sports. Okay, that's very if this was the Mariners last night who got to the World Series, do you know what team we would be burying alive today on this show?
Go ahead.
No team, because we would be excited that the Mariners made the World Series.
Okay, let me rephrase that. If we were going to bury a team, it'd be the Washington Nationals for never getting in.
I think that I can't tell you for sure, but I think that my take would be I'd feel bad for the Washington Nationals. No, I would.
No, you
and
don't.
And you know the worst part is they don't want my pity.
No,
if that were the case, they don't want my pity. I don't want their pity, Dennis.
Okay.
Well, that's why I was rooting for the Nationals, because I feel that pain. I understand that pain of not making the World Series, of not having that success. Of losing a franchise player. I get that. That's happened to me. And so part of the reason why I was hoping that they would, make the playoffs, win their stupid play-in game, beat the Braves, beat the Cardinals, and make it to the World Series and maybe even win a World Series, because I understand that pain as a fan. And so that's why I'm rooting for them.
Read your text when you come back on the Frostburg Coors Light text line at 315-7833, 315-7833. Patchin and Lukens here in the Frostburg Coors Light studio, 700 ESPN, 105.3 FM.
This is your Coors Light Eagle Minute, a look at Eastern Washington University athletics. I'm Larry Ware. The athletic department has announced its scholar athletes for the month of September. The men's award goes to senior football player Jason Williams, who has a 3.39 grade point average as a double major in marketing and finance. Williams has already completed requirements for his marketing degree. He also has 2 straight 100-yard receiving games going into the bye week. The women's award goes to senior golfer Madeline Arducer, who sports a 3.78 GPA as a communications major. Arducer has won the individual titles in 2 tournaments so far this fall. The women's golf team, by the way, finished 6th in an 18-team tournament in Tacoma. Arducer and Stephanie Heimler were the Eagles' top individual finishers as they tied for 10th place. And congratulations to Brooke Dunbar. She was named as the Big Sky Conference Offensive Player of the Week after scoring 2 goals in last week's win over Idaho State. And goalkeeper Kelsey Winston was the co-defensive player of the week after recording shutouts in both wins last weekend. That's your Eagle Minute, brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light. Mountain cold refreshment made to chill.
There's a war going on at Aspen Sound, a sound war that is. The store that sells the most in October will eat steak and the losers will eat beans. But the real winners will be our Aspen Sound customers because every store will do whatever it takes to sell the most and eat steak. We've got remote start systems starting at $289 installed and a Rockford Fosgate base package with a 500-watt amp and a 12-inch woofer for just $197. How about a Kenwood CD player with Bluetooth for music streaming and hands-free calling for just $97? And Alpine CarPlay with Android Auto Deck for only $297. And check out our new home theater and smart home department. Who will win the war? You will, because each store will do whatever it takes to eat steak and not beans. Plus, bring in a bag of food to be donated to the local food bank and we'll give you 10% off your purchase. And as always, we will beat any authorized price. It's the Steak and Bean Sale at Aspen Sound with 3 locations in Spokane and Coeur d'Alene.
Feel the music at Aspen Sound.
Time out for a GMC price challenge. Save up to $10,000 on the Sierra 1500 pickup, Yukon XL, and Acadia SUV at Becker Buick GMC. Closeout pricing on all 2019 trucks and SUVs. Road construction discounts on all 2020 models in stock. While you're at Becker, check out the GMC multifunction tailgate. Top dollar paid for your trade-in. Becker Buick GMC. 6 blocks east of Division on Sprague. Warranty forever on all new and most used. Number 1 in customer satisfaction.
700 ESPN.
Life without VIP.
So bored. Hello? No, I don't want a free insurance quote.
Life with VIP.
Tickets!
You choose the 700 ESPN Field Pass, your VIP access to all things cool and free. Powered by Toyota. Let's go places. Get yours today at 700ESPN.com.
Your great escape awaits at the newly remodeled Coeur d'Alene Casino Resort Hotel, where winning is closer than you think.
It's back on the field and back to work today for the Seattle Seahawks. I'm Dennis Patchin with his Coors Light, 700 ESPN, 105.3 FM Spokane Sports Center. The Seahawks pass rush gets some much-needed help this week as Jaron Reed returns from his 6-game NFL suspension. Seahawks will host Baltimore on Sunday. The Cougars getting some good news as it looks like receiver Brandon Arconato will return. He was the Cougar leading receiver when he left the lineup. He's missed the last 2 games. Cougs will host Colorado Saturday at homecoming. The Spokane Chiefs have added a goaltender. The Chiefs sending a 9th-round Bantam pick to Prince Albert for Brett Ballas. The Chiefs needed help at that spot with an injury to Lucas Perrick, who is listed as week to week. The Chiefs will be on the road this weekend for a pair of games at Prince George, Friday night and Saturday night against the Cougars. This 700 ESPN, 105.3 FM Spokane Sports Center is brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light, mountain cold refreshment made to chill.
Afraid to call? You can email the show at areyoukiddingme at 700ESPN.com.
700 ESPN, 105.3 FM. It's Patchin and Lukens here in the Frost Brewed Coors Light studio. Thanks for being with us today. Appreciate you being with us. Just a reminder, today is Coats for Kids Collection Day down at the First Interstate Center for the Arts. It's the old Opera House. People are there now, and they'll be there tonight until 7 o'clock. Please drop off your new or gently used coats. It's our 35th year on the television side of collecting, cleaning, and distributing coats in our area, along with all of our great partners. Everyone who donates today will be entered for various prizes. So you can go to KXOY.com for all your Coats for Kids information, but if you've got those coats in your car and you're meaning to drop them off, or if you're headed home and you've got a pile that you know you want to give to Coats for Kids, just take them down today and you might win yourself a great prize. You're going to help be part of a great event, but you also might win a great prize. Until 7 o'clock tonight, KXOY employees and volunteers from our sponsors will be there at the First Interstate Center for the Arts. You know it as the old Opera House, collecting coats for kids. And I told this story the other day. Every year we always go, okay, that's it. We don't have any more coats for kids. We got enough. We're done. And then somehow I think the coat fairy sneaks back into our house, puts 3 more coats in. We go, well, we need to give these. All right. Read some of your text on this this Mariners being the last team to get to the World Series. Boy, people are just texting like mad people. All right. Ron says, if I was a Mariner fan, I would be pissed. Not because they're the only team not to be in the World Series. It's going on 18 years without making the postseason is embarrassing. Tom says, is the Mariner moose blowing sunshine up Rick Lukens' nose? He didn't say nose.
He said rear end. That's okay.
I was not going to read that, but
everybody knows.
I think they knew what it was before you said it.
I just wanted people to know that he didn't say a bad word.
I'm just trying to clean it up at 3:30 with kids in the car. Mark says, I'm willing to bet the St. Louis Cardinals win the World Series before the Mariners. Go Pound Sand. Mark says
St. Louis Cardinals have already won a World Series. Shut up, Mark.
Steve with a text saying Mariners will never make it to the World Series. Too many things going against them. Geography, weather, and a blasé fan base.
Never make it to the World Series. I would take that bet. Problem is I might not live long enough to collect it. That's the thing.
How pissed are you?
Otherwise, I'd take that bet. I'd bet you like $1 million.
How pissed are you going to be? How pissed are you going to be if you live to the ripe old age of 90?
Yeah.
And they don't make it.
You know, and the moment when I cash my check, my thought is not going to be, and damn, the Mariners didn't win a World Series. It's just not gonna be a thing for me.
No, but at some point in time, when you approach the 9th, actually you're approaching your 10th decade of being on the planet.
Yeah.
When you're sitting there in your chair drooling, you're gonna think the one sports thing I've never experienced is that team going to the World Series.
Okay. It's not going to be a deal breaker for me.
Robert, who's a 49er fan, says my thoughts on the Mariners and baseball talk is the 49ers are undefeated.
Okay. Got that one in good. Way to go, Robert.
And that will be the extent of our 49er talk today. So there you go. At least you got that plug in. DJ Darren says, I think the new Seattle hockey team will win the Stanley Cup before the Mariners even go to the World Series.
Well, I mean, that's easier for you to say since the Las Vegas Stars went to the Stanley Cup in their first year.
People don't understand how rare that was. I'm just telling you right now. If you're a new Seattle hockey fan and they don't make it to the Stanley Cup Finals in the first 5 years, and you start burning your gear, sorry.
Well, the Stars ruined it for everybody.
Yeah.
I mean the Knights.
You don't think people said that?
Yeah.
You don't think they thought it in Seattle? Brad says, I wish the Mariner organization felt the same pain as the fans do. We know that's not the case.
Well, you know, if Jack Zarensik and his crew were still there, they'd be feeling the pain. If Bavasi and his crew were still there, they would be feeling the pain. The good part is that they've been eliminated. Okay, they're not in the equation anymore, so they're not going to be feeling the pain. There's a new group in there who picked it up from a few years ago, and they're moving forward. They almost made the playoffs one year. They've got one of, if not the best, minor league group of minor league prospects in baseball right now.
Well, I don't think they're in the top 5 yet.
Well, if you're in the top 14, you are one of the best.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about like best
top
organization.
2 or whatever.
Not top half.
Yeah, I mean, and it's really hard to judge prospects, but we can rest assured the Mariners are a top 10. They have a top 10 baseball prospects list. They've got a really good baseball. So that's where this crew, Jerry DiPoto and crew, are taking it. So no, they're not feeling pain. They're feeling really good about their rebuild right now.
Do you know
John Stanton, the owner, he's not happy about it.
No.
Well, he said that. He says it's hard to take the losing. Yeah.
Most management, not ownership, most management never feels pain. Because if they're about to feel pain, they get fired. Okay? Coaches, general managers. Those guys never feel pain because if they're going to feel pain, if you're a fan for 40 years and your team has never been to the World Series or 25 years, yeah, you feel pain that nobody in that organization has felt. Now, the only other guy who could feel that pain is the guy who actually wrote the checks. If he actually lost money,
yeah,
then he would feel some pain. He would feel pain that fans never feel.
And honestly, there's no way that I describe what I feel about the Mariners as pain. You know, I mean that's a word. I know it's just a word. It really is. It's not pain. It's impatience. It's restlessness. It's frustration. It's not pain.
We got a text saying Jim says at least the Seattle Pilots / Milwaukee Brewers got to the World Series. You can make a case that the Brewers are the second most feudal franchise in baseball right now. Because the last time they made it, the only time they made it was 1982.
Harvey's Wallbangers.
Yeah. Lost to the Cardinals. Alex says, guys, it's time to ignite your natitude. Let's go Nats. Right now, the Houston Astros are the official team of Patchin and Lukens.
Yeah, so we got to say go Astros.
If the Yankees beat them,
well, we could change if we wanted.
we are changing, right?
To the Nationals?
If the Yankees beat the Astros,
I would not be against that. Yes, I would not be against that.
I think that'd be unanimous consent here. We
but right now, the Astros are our team. Altuve's my guy. Not Bregman.
Mark, who's a Cardinal fan now, is apologizing for his Cardinal team. He said the Cardinals really didn't have a chance. Trust me, I follow them the way you follow the Mariners. I was totally surprised they made it to the Final Four. Go Nationals. Go pound sand, Mark.
That's a bad day to be Mark.
You know what? You know what? Your team got swept in the league championship series. You have, the second most World Series titles of anybody? Shut up! We don't feel bad for you at all. Hey, how about your Ram football team? Was that a cheap shot to Mark? Since they don't live in St. Louis anymore. How about the St. Louis Hawks?
He's probably got a different. He's probably got a different football team. He's probably a 49er fan.
No, I know he's a Rams fan. I know he is a Rams fan. I know. Umpire Frank says year 43 of sucking starts next April. Big green truck recycles garbage too. Wait till next year. Still waiting.
I almost want to say, Umpire Frank, you and all you, doomsayers.
Naysayers, Rick, is naysayers.
Doomsayers, whatever you want to say. It's like, okay, but when they stop sucking and start getting better and 5 years from now when they're, poised to go to their second World Series, you can't be on the bandwagon. We won't let you on. But that's not true. I want all of you on the bandwagon. I want you all on. Everybody on board. And you will be on board. And most of you, maybe not you, Umpire Frank, because umpires always get it right. We know that. Maybe not you, but most of you will say you knew it all the time. I was there the whole time. I never lost faith.
Travis says if the Mariners go to the series, are either one of you guys going to a game? I'm not sure that my home will let me go once I've been locked up and institutionalized. He says stay positive. I would hope the answer would be yes.
Yeah. I gotta sound like sacrilegious here. If I don't go to a World Series game, I'm okay with that. Even if it's the Mariners, if I don't go, I'm okay with that because television coverage is so fantastic. It's actually, as far as seeing the game, it's better to be sitting at home. I realize that it is better, ambiance-wise and everything, emotionally, to be sitting there. I'll take either one. If I don't go to a game, I'm not upset at all. I will watch all of the Mariner World Series games on TV and be happy.
Rob says Mariners and Nat fans are only technically in the same ballpark. DC fans don't give a rip about the Montreal years and vice versa. We've been waiting since '77. He's a Mariner fan.
Yeah.
Nats fans have only been waiting from '05. No comparison. And that might be true.
Yeah.
It's the comparison on this show for teams, franchises. It has nothing to do with the fan base. It has to do with from the time they started until the time they were over.
Yeah, but I mean, I said I would feel bad for the Nats fans if the Mariners got in before they did. And he's right. The Nats fans, they've only been at it since '05. That's true.
Well, I can't believe there are a lot of Oklahoma City fans who were fans of that team before they moved to Oklahoma City.
I would say 0 of them.
I would say most people who call themselves Sonic fans are not fans of that team. So I think Rob has I think he has a point.
Yeah.
But we're using this as the historical baseball basis is what I did it from. So Arizona, Los Angeles, Milwaukee, Colorado, Tampa, and now Washington have all made it to the World Series one time. The Angels and the Diamondbacks are the only two to win it. The Brewers, the Rockies, the Rays, and at least for now the Nationals have never won a World Series.
Our turn's coming.
All right, we're going
around the corner.
We're going to take a timeout. When we come back, we'll visit with Carson Block. He is a defensive lineman for the Washington State Cougars. We'll talk to him coming up next. It's Patchin and Lukens in the Frostbrook Coors Light Studio, 700 ESPN, 105.3 FM.
Got a clog? Call the dog and go pink with Bulldog Rooter. This month, when the Bulldog Rooter team comes to your home, they'll be sporting pink booties and donating a percentage of each sale to the local Beyond Pink Foundation. So when you got a clog, go pink and call the dog and go pink for the cause. Got a clog? Call the dog and go pink with Bulldog Rooter. This month, when the Bulldog Rooter team comes to your home, they'll be sporting pink booties and donating a percentage of each sale to the local Beyond Pink Foundation. So when you got a clog, go pink and call the dog and go pink for the cause.
Mercedes-Benz. Drive the best or drive nothing at all. If those words speak to you, it's because you expect more than mere transportation and more than mere service. Mercedes-Benz of Spokane is the winner of the Silver Laurel Award, given to only a select few dealers in the nation. Visit during the Certified Pre-Owned October sales event for incredible lease offers. Mercedes-Benz of Spokane, part of the Gee Automotive Group in Liberty Lake and online at SpokaneMercedes.com.
For the 8th year in a row, Residential Home Solutions is proud to give local homeowners a chance to win up to $15,000 worth of new residential windows or Provia entry doors with our Christmas in November sweepstakes. If you are over 18 and a homeowner in the Spokane Coeur d'Alene area, go to residentialhs.com or call 892-6460 to find out how you can enter to win an early Christmas present for your home from a truly local company. Residential Home Solutions. Home improvements. Custom fit for life.
From Coeur d'Alene Casino, this is Lotta Cash with your jackpot report. In the last 30 days, our players hit jackpots of $38,000, $22,000, $30,000, $26,000, $31,000, and more. This year, we've paid multiple jackpots of $80,000, of $60,000, of $40,000, even a $102,000 jackpot. Our jackpots build bigger, faster. We have the most game types and the most $100,000 plus progressives. That's breaking news from Coeur d'Alene Casino.
SpokaneHelpWanted.com salutes the employee of the month. The one employee you can't live without. The others, let's just call them Dave.
Dave, what does collate mean?
Oh, hey, Dave. I think it means to flush.
Oh, thanks, Dave. Well, better start collating the boss's sales pitch.
We believe local businesses should be packed with more local employees of the month and fewer Daves. We make it easy to post a job, and it's local, so you won't get spammed by faraway job seekers. SpokaneHelpWanted.com. Local jobs that work.
Dave is a common name used in a comical way. Please don't write us to tell us you were insulted by this ad. That would be a real Dave move, Dave.
Hey, snowplow owners, Titan Truck still has plows and can get them installed fast, but you gotta move because when they're gone. Saw a used plow on Craigslist? Call Titan first before getting stuck with the wrong plow. Titan Truck sells and installs Western snow plows, guaranteed for 2 full seasons. Western snow plows, whiteouts, V-plows, contractor, heavy duty, and half-ton straight blades, they got them all. Oh, and they take trades too, but you gotta act fast. Call 509-755-5037, stop in at 605 North Fancher Road in Spokane Valley, or online at TitanTruck.com. Titan Truck, get more done, have more fun.
Buyers sell with Patchin and Lukens is brought to you by Dynamic Decks. Custom decks built right.
Welcome back to Patchin and Lukens here in the Frostbrook Coors Light Studio on 700 ESPN, 105.3 FM. We are joined by Washington State defensive lineman Carson Block, who joins us on the show. Carson, thanks for being here, sir. How are you?
I'm good. How are you? Thank you for having me.
We appreciate you coming on our show. Before we get into the normal football stuff, I'm looking through your information on the Media Guide website. And everybody, if you haven't ever been to the Cougar roster page, everybody's got a black coat, red tie, white short. Looks you guys look very impressive. Yet you've got a red little headband across there in your suit. Tell me about that picture.
Oh, that was I was growing my hair out, and I asked Bill about it, and I was didn't know what to do with my hair, and so Bill was saying, yeah, I could just leave the headband on because it was red.
Okay. Is there a little rebel in you?
I'm not really. I don't think so. It was just kind of a bad hair day kind of day.
Okay, all right. You know what? That's the fact that you're honest to admit you're having a bad hair day. Good for you. Good for you. Now, I do know that you were named to the Pac-12 All-Academic team. So we don't know if you're a rebel or not, but we know that you're a smart guy. What does that say about you when you're a football player, but you're being honored by the conference for your work in the classroom?
It's just, I think it just speaks to the fact that, I like to compete in everything that I do, whether that's on the field or off the field. And, having the opportunity to get a college education is a great thing. And I just wanted to take full advantage of that.
Where did you learn to compete like that everywhere? Was that taught? Was that something that was in you already? Did somebody bring that out of you?
I think that's been in me since, as long as I can remember, my parents and then everybody I've ever been around as far as friends and role models as far as older athletes that I looked up to when I was younger. It was that was kind of a mindset that was instilled in me at a very young age and just kind of continued to progress as I got older.
I'm looking at your bio. Your dad played college football. You got multiple cousins who played Division I college football. You've got multiple cousins who wrestled. What is it about your family?
Honestly, I think it is that nice or that passion to want to compete and to want to win and compete against other people. And like I was saying, the role models of my cousins and my dad and everything of playing college sports, it was like that's kind of what was instilled in me as a young kid, and that's exactly what I wanted to do when I grew up. And I remember for as far back as I can, I just wanted to play college football, and at Division I college football, a lot of people were like, oh, I want to play in the NFL and stuff, and it was weird. I guess I was a weird kid. For me, it was like, I just want to play Division I college football.
And that's exactly what you're doing. Did the wrestling bug bite you like it bit some of your family members?
Yeah, wrestling actually was my first sport, and coming out of high school, that was I didn't have any offers to play football. I actually the only offers I had were to wrestle, and so I thought that was actually going to be my path as well. And then I got fortunate enough to get in contact with a junior college and decided, I had a greater love for football than I did for wrestling, and I got the opportunity to play football and try to follow out my dream.
You're going to play football at the college level, you got to be tough. But if you're going to wrestle at the college level, that's a whole different cut of toughness, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
and maybe craziness, but we'll leave that on the side. So you had a kind of an interesting route to get to Washington State University. Tell us about the path and how Washington State was the place that you finally found your way to.
Yeah, kind of like I said, out of high school, I didn't have any offers to play football. I'm from like a small town, and people don't really come and recruit there. It's just, it's hard to get there and see the amount of people that you can get in some of the bigger areas. So thought I was going to wrestle. Got an opportunity to go down to a junior college in Southern California, Saddleback Community College. Got to play there. It was a great experience. Met some lifelong friends, some of my best friends down there. and then got a chance to go out to Louisiana Lafayette and play down there. And I love the culture. I love the the people down there, everything, and just the football situation wasn't the best for me. And it got to a point where I was realizing that I needed to move on. And when it got to the end of the semester, I got my release papers and actually thought I was going to be going to University of Arizona at first. Didn't really have any contact with Washington State for a while, and then one day Coach Nickel was on my old junior college campus when I was just there working out, and told me about the program. Got to come up and visit, and met most of the staff. Some of the staff was out at the time, but met most of the staff, and I loved the passion that just the coaches had about the game, and saw what was going on here, and wanted to be a part of it.
You're from a small town. Did Pullman appeal to you then?
Yeah. I mean, I do prefer the small town over like the big city. I mean, I was in the big city down in Orange County for junior college, and it was a fun time. But I don't know if I'd really want to live there. The traffic and everything gets a little annoying at times.
I'm with you. I don't have a problem with it. It's why I've been in Spokane for more than 35 years now. So that's kind of why I made sure that I stayed here. Let's talk a little bit about what you guys went through last week. You have a new defensive coordinators, plural, as Rock and Darcel are now your coordinators. You guys played. Mike Leach, your head coach, talked about how improved you were. Was that a difficult thing for you to go through as a player?
For me personally, I don't think it was too difficult. Like I said, I've moved around. I mean, I've been to 3 different colleges, and this is going on my 5th year. So I've been around a lot of different coaches, and I think it's part of the business that is college sports. It's like you're going to have coaches leaving, coaches coming in all the time, and so me personally, I didn't think it was a too difficult of a transition. It's like we still know what we got to do, and that we got to go to work.
Is it a drastic change for you as a defensive lineman and what the new coaches or the new coordinators, the same coaches, but what the coordinators are asking you to do? Is it pretty much the same thing?
It's for the most part, it's the same thing. They're asking us to do our best and to give absolute relentless effort every single play, and that's what we're working to do.
Carson Block joining us here. It's homecoming week this week in Pullman. Does a college football? I know a 50-year-old alumni knows what homecoming is. Does a college football player know what homecoming is?
Yeah, I have kind of an idea. It's we get to have a bunch of the alumni come back, and kind of a welcome back game for everybody.
All right. So if it's alumni, if we're talking about alumni. Is there a former Cougar football player that you're just dying to meet or that you have met?
Probably, I'm good friends with John Bledsoe, but I've never really met his dad. I think it'd be really cool to meet Drew Bledsoe.
All right. Well, maybe John can help you out there, do you think?
Yeah.
I think he might be able to. Cougs in Colorado kick off 4 o'clock in Pullman. It's homecoming weekend. He's an all Pac-12 academic performer. He's Carson Block. He joins us on the program. Carson, thanks for the time. We appreciate it. Continued success. Good luck this weekend, and good luck in the rest of this season.
Thank you so much for having me, and thank you.
Always nice to talk to guys who are Pac-12 academic players.
Yeah.
Smart guys.
They're focused.
They can actually answer a question without being robotic in that answer. Carson Block joining us. Aaron Best going to join us today at 5 o'clock. We'll hear from the Eastern Eagle coach. They got a bye this week, but so we'll kind of find out what's going on with the Eagles. We're going to take a timeout. We'll give you the word of the day. It's worth 50,000 bonus points. Patchin and Lukens here in the Frost Brew Coors Light Studio. 700 ESPN, 105.3 FM.
Your local forecast brought to you by Wendell Ford, Wendell Nissan, and Wendell Pre-Owned. Over 500 vehicles in one location.
So much wet weather in the forecast. Hi, it's Chris Crocker in the 4 News Now First Alert Weather Center. Rain tonight, an overnight low of 44 degrees. For Thursday, some showers off and on, windy conditions, gusts to 30 miles per hour and a high of 55. More rain coming in Thursday night into Friday.
Your local forecast. Brought to you by Wendell at the Y. Online at wendell.com.
Your business can do a lot in 10 minutes, like make a big sale, surprise and delight a customer, or come up with the winning idea. And right now, 10 minutes is all it takes to help your business cut down on costs, interruptions, and download times. Introducing the Comcast Business 10-Minute Advantage. Give us 10 minutes. If we can't offer you faster speed or better savings on your current internet service, we'll give you $300 for your time. Call 1-800-501-6000 now. Comcast Business goes beyond fast with high-speed internet. That means downloads in seconds, not minutes. Plus, get bandwidth for all apps and devices. It all starts with our gig speed network. Call 1-800-501-6000 now for your Comcast Business 10-Minute Advantage. Comcast Business, beyond fast.
Offer ends 10/21/19. Restrictions apply. Not available to current Comcast Business customers. Comparison based on download speeds and does not include Ethernet service. Proof of current internet speed and competitive bill within the last 60 days required. One $300 prepaid card per company. Call for details.
I'm Trevor, owner of 24 Taps Burgers and Brews. One important thing I learned from Josh when we opened, he'd tell me, no compromise. We offer no less the high-quality dining experience he envisioned for you. No compromise on high-quality food and service. To this day, I've always stressed no compromise to my staff at 24 Taps as well. We take your patronage seriously. On each visit, you deserve only our best. Join us for dinner tonight. 24 Taps Burgers and Brews, 24 North Lincoln.
Hey you, how's it going? Been doing anything fun lately?
Hey, like usual, no. I can't afford to have fun.
Yes you can. You just need to check out bidonspokane.com.
Bidonspokane.com? I think I've heard of it, but I don't know what it is.
It's seriously so awesome. An online auction where you can buy items from local businesses at 50 to 80% off retail value. It's free to register, and all you have to do is bid on the items you want. The online auction part makes it fun, too.
Wow, thanks for letting me know. I'm going to check out bidonspokane.com today.
Time out for a GMC price challenge. Save up to $10,000 on the Sierra 1500 pickup, Yukon XL, and Acadia SUV at Becker Buick GMC. Closeout pricing on all 2019 trucks and SUVs. Road construction discounts on all 2020 models in stock. While you're at Becker, check out the GMC multifunction tailgate. Top dollar paid for your trade-in. Becker Buick GMC. 6 blocks east of Division on Sprague. Warranty forever on all new and most used. #1 in customer satisfaction.
Imagine a financial services partner fully invested in your success. I'm JD Allen, branch manager with Baird. Baird was founded on the simple premise that clients come first. Being privately held has kept that idea front and center for a century. Because as employee owners, all of us at Baird know our success depends on yours. You and Baird, imagine where we can go together.
Visit BairdSpokane.com.
The Seahawk defense gets a boost this week. I'm Dennis Patchin with his Coors Light, 700 ESPN, 105.3 FM Spokane Sports Center. Jared Reed returns from his 6-game NFL suspension this week as the Seahawks will host Baltimore on Sunday. Reed had 10.5 sacks last year from his defensive tackle spot, and head coach Pete Carroll says when Reed's back on the field, he makes everyone on that side of the ball better. With an injury to starter Lucas Perrick, the Spokane Chiefs have made a deal for a netminder. The Chiefs have added 18-year-old goaltender Brett Ballas from the Prince Albert Raiders. The Chiefs will be sending a draft pick to the Raiders for his services. Spokane on the road this weekend for a pair of games at Prince George. The Washington Nationals head to the World Series for the first time in franchise history with a sweep of the St. Louis Cardinals in the NLCS. That makes the Seattle Mariners the only franchise currently in baseball to have never played in the World Series. The 700 ESPN 105.3 FM Spokane Sports Center is brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light. Mountain cold refreshment made to chill.
Follow us on Facebook, 700 ESPN.
700 ESPN 105.3 FM. It's Patchin and Lukens here in the Frost Brewed Coors Light studio. Hey, don't forget today. This is the best thing. We've got a place where you can drop off Coach for Kids today. You don't have to find a box. You don't have to come to our studios. All you got to do, anytime between now and 7 o'clock, is take them down. You don't even, I'm guessing, Rick, I think you don't even have to slow. Well, you got to slow down, but I don't think you have to stop. I think people come right up to your window.
Well, that's pretty good.
Yes.
Just throw them at somebody and drive off.
Don't do that because they might. So we got people up there who can't catch. We got people.
Stop and talk to them.
Yeah.
Let them say thank you.
Between now and 7 o'clock at the First Interstate Center for the Arts, it's the old Opera House. KXOY TV is collecting coats for kids. It's our 35th year of this event. 35 years. Wow, we've been doing this a long time. And get there, and if you do, you can sign up for prizes. If you don't want the prizes, this is just an easy opportunity to help out those who need coats. And if you've checked the weather forecast, we've already had a couple, but it's coming. So any new or gently used coats, or you know what, if you want to just stop by and hand them some money, that'll work too. Chris Crocker is a super shopper when it comes to these. She's got all kinds of deals all over town to get coats. So stop by today. Please do that. All right. The word of the day, it's worth 50,000 bonus points. Our word of the day today is round. Not ground, round.
Not square.
As in round mound of rebound.
Charles Barkley.
Charles Barkley. As in merry-go-round. Round is the word of the day. It's worth 50,000 bonus points. All kinds of great stuff to be had. Idaho tickets, Eastern tickets, Cougar tickets. We've got your college football connection. We've got Seahawk tickets. We've got a Seahawks getaway weekend that we're in the final days of signing up. That's tickets to see the Tampa Bay Bucks and the Seahawks. That's almost positively guaranteed win day. So if you want to see the Seahawks and see them win, that's a good one to go to. Plus, we give you a night's hotel stay, so you don't have to drive over and drive back day of the game. There is also a Yeti cooler with 4 tickets to the next Cougar home game. So we're going to do that throughout the Cougar football season, and that Yeti cooler is from the fine folks at Frostburg Coors Light. Miller Coors allowing us to give that away. So all kinds of stuff there, but you need bonus points to enter all of those. Now, the great news is if you have bonus points, you can enter as many times as you like. That's right. If you got enough for 1,000 entries, you can enter 1,000. We've had people enter a contest 1,000 times. That's a lot. That's impressive.
Somebody with a little free time on their hands.
That's impressive to be able to. I know you can enter quickly. It's not like it's a 5-minute process to enter. You can enter, but man alive, entering 1,000 times?
That increases the odds.
But if you have the points and that's something you want, that's what the great thing is with that. All right. So, the field pass round is the word of the day, worth 50,000 bonus points. And don't forget, on the app every Saturday, Steve will put out sends you a push notification just to you. He sends you a push notification that gives you the word of the day. That's another 50,000 bonus points. People are digging the word of the day on Saturday. We've had a lot of nice comments from people. So there you go. Word of the day on Saturday through the app and the push notification. All right. When we come back, Jaron Reed returns. 2 questions we have. 1, how much will he help? And 2, how good will he be this first weekend? We'll talk about it next. It's Patchin and Lukens here in the Frostbrook Coors Light Studio. 700 ESPN, 105.3 FM.
We're having an all-out blitz on all remaining 2019 Nissans. And we'll buy your vehicle like we have for over 75 years, whether you buy from us or not. It's an all-out blitz on the 2019s. Get 1.9% financing for 72 months on all remaining 2019 Nissan Rogues. Over 50 to choose from, plus up to $3,750 factory customer cash. Come see us during our all-out Blitz sales event at Wendell at the Y or online at wendell.com.
1.9% APR financing for up to 72 months on all 2019 Nissan Rogues with up to $3,750 factory customer cash. That includes $750 bonus cash on Nissan SV and SL models, $2,000 NMAC special APR bonus cash, and $1,000 factory retail loyalty cash. Factory incentives based on possible NMAC prior approval. See dealer for details. Must take delivery from dealer stock by 10/31/19. Negotiable $150 documentation fee may be added to sale, plus tax, license, and registration.
Come see us during our all-out Blitz sales event at Wendell at the Y or online at wendell.com.
Right now is a great time for a new roof. The temperature isn't so terribly hot for roofers, and you can get it done before snowfall. But who should you call? Kodiak Roofing. Kodiak Roofing has an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau and will treat your roof as their own and offer many different roofing options to choose from. If you've been thinking about replacing your roof, stop thinking and call now. Kodiak Roofing. KodiakRoofingCompany.com.
There's a war going on at Aspen Sound, a sound war that is. The store that sells the most in October will eat steak and the losers will eat beans. But the real winners will be our Aspen Sound customers because every store will do whatever it takes to sell the most and eat steak. We've got remote start systems starting at $289 installed and a Rockford Fosgate base package with a 500-watt amp and a 12-inch woofer for just $197. How about a Kenwood CD player with Bluetooth for music streaming and hands-free calling for just $97? And Alpine CarPlay with Android Auto Deck for only $297. And check out our new home theater and smart home department. Who will win the war? You will, because each store will do whatever it takes to eat steak and not beans. Plus, bring in a bag of food to be donated to the local food bank and we'll give you 10% off your purchase. And as always, we will beat any authorized price. It's the Steak and Bean Sale at Aspen Sound with 3 locations in Spokane and Coeur d'Alene.
Hey, snowplow owners, Titan Truck still has plows and can get them installed fast, but you gotta move because when they're gone. Saw a used plow on Craigslist? Call Titan first before getting stuck with the wrong plow. Titan Truck sells and installs Western snow plows guaranteed for 2 full seasons. Western snow plows, whiteouts, V-plows, contractor, heavy duty, and half-ton straight blades, they got them all. Oh, and they take trades too, but you gotta act fast. Call 509-755-5037, stop in at 605 North Fancher Road in Spokane Valley, or online at titantruck.com. Titan Truck, get more done, have more fun.
KXLX Airway Heights, Spokane. 2 names that mean local sports. Local sports. Patchin and Lukens. Weekdays at 3 on 700 ESPN and 105.3 FM. Frost Brewed Coors Light text line is always open. Let Patchin and Lukens know what you think. 509-315-7833.
700 ESPN, 105.3 FM. It's Patchin and Lukens here in the Frost Brewed Coors Light studio. Welcome back to the show.
This portion of the show brought to you by Bulldog Rooter.
All right. Jaron Reed is back. Tweeted out Sunday night after the Seahawks beat the Browns, even before they were back in Seattle. Nice win. Time to get to work. And he was one of the first people in the office on Monday morning. Good. You screwed up. You did something stupid. You got suspended for 6 games. Good. Okay. How much can we expect out of him this week?
I was a little bit surprised when I read Bob Condotta's take in the Seattle Times when somebody asked him, how's the playing time going to get divvied up? And it was more a question in regard to L.J. Collier, who's not getting many snaps, the number 1 draft pick, and I think that will affect his snaps for sure. But Bob says that Reed is going to be in good enough shape to basically play like it's a normal game for him. Just normal. Now, last year, Jaron Reed played more snaps than any other defensive lineman. He was in for 78% of the snaps, and that's because the Seahawks liked leaving him in on passing situations.
Well, he was the Bobby Wagner of the defensive line. He's a 3-down defensive lineman. He can play the running, play the pass.
Yeah.
It's also a product of they didn't have anybody else to put in there.
Yeah. Now they've got Poona Ford, who's played well. They've got Al Harris, who's played well. And so maybe Reed doesn't play 78% just because the other guys are there. They're available, and they're pretty good. But I'll bet you Jaron Reed's going to play 65 to 70% of the snaps easily in the first week.
You think that
many?
Yes,
I do. I mean, he was there all during training camp in the preseason. He hasn't played in a regular season game.
He hasn't practiced.
And he hasn't practiced, yeah. But he did. He practiced all through training camp.
No, I understand
And he
that.
already knows what they do.
I'm not worried about him knowing what they do.
I don't see him as being rusty. How do you get rusty? You know what you're supposed to do. You did it right up to the 1st of September. You were doing it full speed right up to the 1st of September. So you've been out 6 weeks. So what?
But coaches tell you there's in shape and then there's football shape.
And he was in football shape 6 weeks ago.
And you lose football shape in 6 weeks.
Maybe not nearly as much as you would think if he's not hurt. Dennis, if he's not hurt.
I know that.
And he's able to work out completely and do stuff on his own.
I completely understand that. Football coaches will tell you if you don't practice or play for 6 weeks, you lose your football shape. I think he's going to play a lot, but I think asking him to play 65 or 70% of the snaps, I don't know how effective he'll be if he plays that much.
First of all, I think they kind of need him in there playing a lot because aside from Frank Clark, who played an awful lot of snaps last year too, I mean, those guys benefited off each other. I think having Jaron Reed coming up the middle in passing situations is going to be a huge thing for the Seahawks and the two ends that they've got who are not getting to the quarterback.
I don't disagree with you at all. I think he will be the best inside run guy on Sunday. He'll be the best pass rushing guy inside on Sunday. I don't think he can play 65 or 70% of the snaps because he hasn't played in 6 weeks.
I'm going to go out.
And if he does play, he will not be as effective as he's going to be in 2 or 3 weeks.
I'm going to say it this way. First of all, as far as in shape, aerobically or otherwise, he's as good as anybody else. In fact, better because he has not been beat on for 6 weeks.
Correct.
Okay, so he doesn't have a tough 6 weeks of football to come back from. And everybody says that as you go on during a season, your recovery time gets longer. Well, he doesn't have any recovery time. He's fine, okay? He's been able to work out aerobically, in shape-wise, he's fine. You're talking about football shape, maybe not to play at the level that he played at last year, but to play at a slightly reduced level with his effectiveness still makes him as good or better than anybody else they can have in there.
I'm not arguing that
so
point.
I see him playing his normal, I say the only thing that cuts into his snaps are the other two guys who have been good. Poona Ford and Al Harris. That's what cuts into his snaps.
You mean Al Woods?
Al Woods. I kept saying Al Harris. Al Woods, yeah.
Al Harris, what did he play for the Eagles? Was he in like the 90s?
Oh, yeah, there was an Al Harris who played basketball for the Sonics, too.
Oh,
so.
That's right.
Yeah.
In the 60s.
Yeah.
I agree with you that it will be easier for him to recover from week 1 to week 2 and week 3 because he doesn't have those miles. I always worry. Coaches say when you don't practice for 6 weeks, you're not in football. He can be in the best shape of his life. If you're not hitting people, if you're not leaning on people, you're not ready to take that pounding. He's a really good football player. He's a borderline all-pro football player. He's borderline all-pro. In fact, he probably should have been all-pro last year, but he probably got lost in the shuffle of just because people don't know who he is. I just don't know how effective he's going to play. He's going to play well. I don't think he plays to the level that he played last year, at least for a couple of weeks.
I would agree. He doesn't play to the level he played last year for a couple of weeks. I think that's not only possible, it's likely. But, a Jaron Reed who's at 85% is better than an Al Woods, who's at 100%.
But here's my other issue, and Subman Joe says Reed will play a lot because Baltimore runs a ton. I think you got to keep your guys fresh on the defensive line because what Lamar Jackson can do with his legs.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so you're going to have to keep that rotation rolling. And you know what? L.J. Collier might have to play if he's active. He might have to play more than his 5 snaps.
The amazing thing about Collier is these numbers from last week. The Browns ran 61 plays last week. The NFL average is 63. The Seahawks only had 7 active defensive linemen because Brandon Jackson was out. Collier who had played 16 snaps and 20 snaps in his 2 previous times suiting up for the Seahawks, played only 5 snaps in this game. And and the Browns were had as many offensive plays as anybody they'd gone up against. They chose not to put L.J. Collier into that game.
He may have to play just because of freshness. He may have to play 10 or 15 snaps just because of freshness.
The most of the snaps this past Sunday went to Quentin Jefferson, who had 60. Poona Ford had 58 of 63. Clowney was down. He had 48, and Woods had 44. We'll see what they do with Collier.
I think if you play guys more than 50 snaps on the defensive line against Lamar Jackson, you're asking for trouble.
Maybe. I mean, Lamar Jackson ran for over 150 yards last week.
He had 100 yards in the first half.
Yeah.
That's why you got to be fresh up front.
Yeah, and I think the onus is going to be on linebackers and safeties too.
Well, you have to spy him.
To be coming up on him and not let him deke you into coming up and then drop one over the top.
Right, your safety, your secondary has to cover better because you're not going to have one of those linebackers in coverage because you're going to have to spy him.
Yeah.
Because if you don't, he will do what he did last week. He'll run for 150 yards. And if he does that, you're not beating Baltimore.
Oh, it's true. Now, it's also true that Lamar Jackson, after the first 2 weeks of the season when they played the Dolphins, and they opened up against the Dolphins, and then they played the Chargers, I think.
Mm-hmm.
After those first 2 weeks of the season, his passing numbers have dived. But he still runs the ball really well.
You need to make him throw the football. Do not let him run the football. If he throws the football and beats you, pat him on the head, we'll see you next time. But if you let him run wild on you, that's shame on you. And Pete Carroll's a good enough defensive coach, and that staff's good enough, they can eliminate one of those things.
Yeah. This could end up being a wide. Remember last year when the Seahawks played the Texans and Deshaun Watson?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that was a Wild West shootout.
If the defense doesn't show up and they don't get some pass rush and some containability, Russell Wilson and company might have to score 40 to win this game.
And they can.
Well, they can. I don't really want them to, because that means you're scoring all the time. In the NFL, 40 points is a lot of points. All right, we're going to take a timeout. Patchin and Lukens here in the Frost Brew Coors Light studio. The Rams are pushing all their chips to the middle of the table. How does that affect Seattle? We'll talk about it next. 700 ESPN, 105.3 FM.
The holidays are a time for family, a time to share loving memories and make new ones. And after your holiday feast, you need your kitchen to just work. That's why at Gold Seal Plumbing, we stand by the InSinkErator Pro 1000 LP. Gold Seal Plumbing is offering the lowest price of the season, and we will guarantee it won't clog during the holidays. If it does, we will come fix it, even on a holiday. Enjoy the InSinkErator Pro 1000 LP this holiday season. Gold Seal Plumbing, if you need a plumber, we're on our way.
Do good, feel good. That's the Ed Servio way.
The Ripon Foundation provides hope for local families battling childhood cancer. Each year, they provide funding to support a number of unique programs and projects that address the needs of children with cancer. Residential Home Solutions invites you to learn more at riponfoundation.org and consider supporting their mission.
This message is brought to you by Ed Servio with support from Global Credit Union, Residential Home Solutions, and Zero Res.
I drive a RAV4, and I thought I better have it checked just because I knew I was planning some road trips.
Hi, Dallas Lowe with Golden Rule Brake. You deserve an honest repair at a fair price, and we promise to make it easy.
Hi, I'm Patty, and I've lived in the Spokane area for most of my life. I'm a teacher, and I love my students, and I love what I do. As a mother of 3 daughters who all drive, we've all had our moments where we've wondered if what we're being told is really true. It speaks volumes to women and just to anybody really in the community when they can go to a place and know that they're not going to be, that money's not the issue in the sense that they're going to try and get as much as they can from you. I would recommend Golden Rule because I don't have to question what they're telling me, and that's very satisfying.
Schedule now at any of our 3 area locations and at goldenrulebrake.com. We'll see you soon.
Yeah, Golden Rule Brake.
Listen to 700 ESPN and 105.3 FM on your Echo.
Thanks.
Just tell Alexa, enable 700 ESPN 105.3 FM. Then say, play 700 ESPN 105.3 FM. Anytime to hear Patchin and Lukens, Golick and Wingo, Stephen A. Smith, and all your favorites from ESPN, including the NBA playoffs, the World Series, and more. Let Alexa make sure you don't miss a minute.
Destination
700 ESPN.
This is Sarah.
Hi, I'm Sarah.
Sarah was looking for a job but wanted to stay local.
That's right.
First, she built a giant satellite, then launched it into space to send a signal transmitting her resume. This did not lend Sarah a job, but it did start a war with the Zarkon Nebula.
I went too far.
Yes, Sarah went too far, but you don't have to go too far to go far. SpokaneHelpWanted.com only posts local jobs, so employers are way more likely to respond to your application and offer you a job. SpokaneHelpWanted.com. Local jobs that work.
Dave Smith's annual Low-Tober sales event is here. Save up to $14,500 off new GMC trucks. Find out why we are the Northwest's largest GM dealer. GMC, we are professional grade. 800-635-8000. DaveSmiths.com.
It's back on the field and back to work today for the Seattle Seahawks. I'm Dennis Patchin with his Coors Light, 700 ESPN, 105.3 FM Spokane Sports Center. The Seahawks pass rush gets some much-needed help this week as Jaron Reed returns from his 6-game NFL suspension. Seahawks will host Baltimore on Sunday. The Cougars getting some good news as it looks like receiver Brandon Arconato will return. He was the Cougar leading receiver when he left the lineup. He's missed the last 2 games. Cougs will host Colorado Saturday at homecoming. The Spokane Chiefs have added a goaltender. The Chiefs sending a 9th-round Bantam pick to Prince Albert for Brett Ballas. The Chiefs needed help at that spot with an injury to Lucas Perrick, who is listed as week to week. The Chiefs will be on the road this weekend for a pair of games at Prince George, Friday night and Saturday night against the Cougars. This 700 ESPN 105.3 FM Spokane Sports Center is brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light, mountain cold refreshment made to chill.
Sign up for the Field Pass for your chance to win great prizes at 700ESPN.com.
ESPN 105.3 FM. Patchin and Lukens in the Frost Brewed Coors Light studio. Welcome back to the show. Thanks for being with us today. What was that? Sorry, Steve. Jill just sent us a text saying, I just dropped off a bag of coats for kids.
Thanks, Jill.
How about that? Hey, thank you, Jill. All right, that's pretty good. Just remember, it's today. Just swing by the First Interstate Center for the Arts. It's the new name of the Opera House. And drop off your coats for kids. Aaron Best coming up at 5 o'clock. What did I tease?
We're going to talk about the Rams pushing all their chips to the middle of the table. Yeah.
They traded for Jalen Ramsey today.
Yeah, it was funny because I missed that last night. Once I tuned the baseball game out last night in about the 5th inning, 6th inning maybe, I was out. So I missed that till I got up this morning. And I'm listening to Danny and Gallant this morning on our station. And from the, I picked it up in mid-conversation, and if you picked this, what they were saying up in mid-conversation, it sounded for a second like the Seahawks had traded for Jalen Ramsey. And I was mad. They gave up way too much. And I'm like, I'm mad. We don't need Jalen. And I saw it was the Rams. And I'm like, oh, that's okay. And it's actually, maybe it's not okay, but wow, they gave up a lot.
They gave up 2 first-round picks.
And a 4th, yeah.
Now, they did trade Marcus Peters away.
And got, I think, a 5th-round pick for him?
So basically the 4th, 5th is a wash.
Yeah.
But now you got Ramsey. So that tells me you're re-signing him, right?
You pretty much. I don't know. And is he on the final year of his contract?
I think he is. Is this the end of it, Steve?
I don't.
I thought it was. Anyway, if you're going to give up 2 number 1 draft picks,
you better not just have the guy for potentially 10 games.
Yeah.
He's the best cornerback in the NFL. My take on that, my estimation on it. He's the best cornerback in the NFL, best cover man. So, yeah, they've got something good there, but it's going to cost them a lot to sign him. And they just gave up a first-round pick in 2020 and 2021. Wow. I mean, who would have thought when the season began, if I told you that by week 7, Dennis, that neither Marcus Peters nor Aqib Talib would be in the backfield for the Rams for the rest of the season, you would have said I was stupid.
No, I would have said you're drinking.
Yeah.
Or you're using some of the legal substances that are now available in the state of Washington, but not in Idaho.
Marcus Peters is now a Baltimore Raven and will suit up against the Seahawks this weekend.
Yeah.
And Aqib Talib is on the IR.
For the record, Jalen Ramsey is under contract for the rest of this season and all of next season. In February of 2019, the Jags exercised a $13.7 million fifth-year option.
Okay, all right.
Okay, so what that tells you is the Rams are trying to get back to the Super Bowl now.
I'm going to say the Rams are in panic mode a little bit. That smacks of panic to me, Dennis.
Well, it smacks of something the Seahawks wouldn't do. The Seahawks, there's no chance they're trading 2 number 1 picks for the best corner in the game. And
Nope.
I'm not. You can debate whether he's the best corner in the game, but if that's the price tag on him, the Seahawks aren't getting anybody in their secondary. They're not helping themselves at the trade deadline to get an impact guy back there.
That's right. Well, I mean, there's 2 weeks left, and
No. But what I'm saying is the Rams have now set the market. So Patrick Peterson, who's a free agent at the end of the year, that's a first-round pick.
yeah.
Okay, if the Cardinals decide to trade him, they're going to get a first-rounder. And there's no chance the Seahawks are trading a first-round pick. That's the basis of John Schneider's whole draft is trading that pick to get 175 other picks.
Right. Well, and here's the thing for the Rams, and I do believe it was a panic move. This does not make Jared Goff a better quarterback. They put 7 points on the board last week. The Rams did. 7. Jalen Ramsey, unless he pick sixes one, is not putting points on the board for the Rams.
I agree with that.
It doesn't make Todd Gurley healthy either.
I agree with that, but maybe the Rams don't have to score 40 points to win a game if Jalen Ramsey's playing.
Oh, okay, I'll give you that. But, I mean, all the stuff I saw today was now the Rams have Jalen Ramsey and Aaron Donald, okay? First of all, tell me what Aaron Donald has done this year. Aaron Donald is really good. He's been neutralized by a lot of teams, including the Seahawks. Now, having Ramsey in the backfield might buy a guy like Aaron Donald an extra second to get to a quarterback. I'll give you that.
Yeah. And that, Rick, that might be they may have looked at this and said, you know what? Our offense is not going to be able to put up any more points on the board. But maybe they're playing from a point of we have to score every time we have the ball, which is putting too much pressure. We go out and get a guy who can cover longer, who can take one side of the field away from people. That allows our pass rush to do a little bit more, and we get to the quarterback.
Yeah, you know what, though? I want to pull a Dennis on you. He's not in football shape. So I wish the Seahawks were playing him this week.
He isn't, but he hits less than a defensive tackle or an offensive lineman does. I got to think that Ramsey is going to have a bigger impact his first game back, because what did he play the first 3 games, than Jaron Reed is.
Sure. I mean, I think it's going to be about the same, really.
I think it's going to be way more because Jalen Ramsey's a way better player than Jaron Reed is.
The Rams, I think the Rams got better, even though Talib is out. So, I mean, I don't even know who's playing at the other corner,
I don't
the other
either.
corner slot. I think the thing that affects the Seahawks most immediately is that Marcus Peters will be at CenturyLink taking on the Seahawks for the second time this year.
Well, and here's the other thing is, if you're a Seahawk fan and you're worried about this Rams trade, don't. Because you don't play them for a while. In fact, when do they play them again?
The Rams? Oh, it's not till right toward the end
December
of the season.
8th.
Yeah.
They made this trade to beat the 49ers. Because they still have to play them twice.
No, they just lost to them once.
Oh, they did. Well, they have to beat. So they made this trade
The
to beat
Rams
the
are
Seahawks.
already sunk. They're 3 games behind the 49ers. Their season is over. Trade as many first-round picks away as you want for whoever you want. It doesn't matter.
The Rams want to be the number 2 teams out of the NFC West. That's what they want to be. They think they've got a shot at being the number 2 team out of the NFC West.
I still, if you made this trade to get to a wild card game, you're a moron. I think they made this trade because they still think they can win the West.
It was such a desperate move.
Oh, hey, you know what? When you got to the Super Bowl a year ago and you've got all these guys signed these contracts, these are the moves teams make when they believe they're in the window. We just have come accustomed to John Schneider trading out of the first round, not using first-round picks. He trades them for draft picks. He doesn't trade them for a guy that's going to make $1 gazillion. They had to trade Marcus Peters, Rick, for no other reason than they couldn't fit both guys under the salary cap.
Yeah.
So did they really help themselves?
Subman Joe has done some research. The Rams now have no first-round picks in 2017, 18, 19, 20, 21. I mean, so that goes back, obviously, the last 3 drafts and now the next 2.
That's okay. The Seahawks haven't had any first-round picks either, right? Except for the last 2 years. They've traded both of those.
Yeah, they're horrible picking in the first round. You want to look at the Seahawks taking the 3rd round. That's when they get really good.
Yeah. When a team is that close, they'd rather add a guy like Jalen Ramsey. If that's your philosophy, they'd rather add a guy like him to win now than take somebody with the 26th overall first-round pick, and he's not going to help you right away. This is a Rams team that, you're right, they're desperate. If they beat the 49ers on Sunday, they may not have made this trade.
Well, I'm curious what you guys think. If the Rams are sitting there at 5-1, and they still make the same trade for the same price.
I don't think they do, Steve.
All right, but if
so, you really think that they did this because they're in panic mode? You don't think that they would have just made this trade if they were, again, 5-1, 6-0, something like that?
I think there's less of a likelihood that they would have paid this price for Jacksonville, the asking price. I think if they had to make the decision, we got to get this guy. It doesn't matter what it cost us. I think if they're 5-1, they might have They might have said, no, we're not making that pick. We're not giving you that. Here's what we'll give you. We'll give you a 1st and a 4th. When you're 3-3. And you're 0-2 against the teams you're challenging for the division crown, sometimes you have to overpay. This trade, if this doesn't work for the Rams, if they don't get back to the Super Bowl this year or next year, and Jalen Ramsey walks, this is a fail. This is a deal that could set this franchise back 5 years.
No question. And look at the money they've already committed to Aaron Donald, to Todd Gurley, and to Jared Goff. And now they're going to have to commit the money to Jalen Ramsey. And don't forget, Cooper Kupp is coming up. They're going to have to pay him too.
What's Gurley's situation? How many years does he have left on his deal?
Doesn't he have a couple of years left?
Because I could see them.
I
could see them replacing his salary with Ramsey's salary if he plays the way they think he can play.
I think they get out from under Gurley's contract as soon as they possibly can.
Yeah.
There's a potential out in 2022.
Well,
after the 2022 season or before?
After the 21 season.
Yeah, see?
That's 2 years off, man.
Yeah,
There's
all
2
of
more
this
seasons.
year, next, and the one after that. Yeah.
2.5 seasons.
See, this is why the Seahawks didn't re-sign Earl Thomas.
Yep.
This is why when the Seahawks signed Cam Chancellor and Michael Bennett, they learned.
Well, and the Seahawks decided, and look how it's paying off now, we need to pay Russell Wilson and Bobby Wagner. We can't be paying Earl Thomas.
No, I understand that. But what I'm saying is you got to be really careful in who you give long-term deals to. And the Seahawks have learned that running backs are older than anybody in the league. You can't give a guy who's going to kill you at the end of the contract. That's why Earl Thomas never got a new deal, because the Seahawks weren't worried about year 1 and 2. They were worried about year 3 and 4, and that's what killed him with Cam Chancellor. That's what killed him with Michael Bennett, and that's what would have killed him with him. The Rams situation is why Earl Thomas is coming to CenturyLink in a different uniform this weekend.
And also, this occurred to me. I don't know how effective Marcus Peters is going to be with, now if let's say he got to Baltimore today, which he probably did. Got to Baltimore today. He's going to be able to practice maybe tomorrow with them, but then they're hopping on an airplane. All right. I don't know how effective he is in the first game, but for the rest of this season, and I think Marcus Peters is a guy who gets beat, and I think he's a guy who's a problem in the locker room, but he won't be early on. This is a guy who all of a sudden I think is going to help make Earl Thomas effective, and Earl Thomas is going to make Marcus Peters effective. That's a dynamic cornerback right there in Marcus Peters. He's a great athlete who makes mistakes. They're going to cover for each other, and Earl Thomas has been just okay with the Ravens now. I think they make each other better for the rest of this season.
Well, let's hope it doesn't start this weekend.
Yeah.
Let's hope it starts in week 2 of that tandem's time together. All right, we come back. Buy or sell time, 244-ESPN, 509-244-3776. Patchin and Lukens here in the Frostbrook Coors Light Studio. It's brought to you by Dynamic Decks. Custom decks built right. 244-ESPN, 509-244-3776. Patchin and Lukens here in the Frostbrook Coors Light Studio. 700 ESPN, 105.3 FM. Buy or sell is next.
Your local forecast brought to you by Wendell Ford, Wendell Nissan, and Wendell Pre-Owned. Over 500 vehicles in one location.
So much wet weather in the forecast. Hi, it's Chris Crocker in the 4 News Now First Alert Weather Center. Rain tonight, an overnight low of 44 degrees. For Thursday, some showers off and on, windy conditions, gusts to 30 miles per hour and a high of 55. More rain coming in Thursday night into Friday.
Your local forecast brought to you by Wendell at the Y, online at Wendell.com.
We're having an all-out blitz on all remaining 2019 Fords. And we'll buy your vehicle like we have for over 75 years, whether you buy from us or not. It's an all-out blitz on the 2019s. Get 1.9% financing for 72 months on all remaining 2019 F-150, STX, XLT, and Lariats. Plus up to $4,250 factory customer cash. Come see us during our all-out blitz sales event. Wendell at the Y or online at Wendell.com.
1.9% APR financing for 72 months on 2019 Ford F-150 STX, XLT, and Lariat Super Cab and Super Crew with up to $4,250 factory customer cash that includes $2,250 bonus cash, $750 Ford credit bonus cash, and $1,250 trade assist. Any factory incentives based on possible FMCC prior approval. See dealer for details. Must take delivery from dealer stock by 10/31/19. Negotiable $150 documentation fee may be added to the sale, plus tax, license, and registration.
Come see us during our all-out blitz sales event. Wendell at the Y or online at Wendell.com.
Hey, hon, let's pick up a huge XLNY pizza. Hey, Maps, give me directions to Papa Murphy's.
Boop, boop. Rerouting to Yumsville.
Oh, Molly, you don't have to do the Maps voice.
Boop, boop. Take a left on Huge Pizza Road.
Okay, babe, I can just follow the real directions.
Bake it up a notch tonight. Get any made-from-scratch XLNY with a foldable New York-style crust for only $9. Papa Murphy's Pizza. We make it, you bake it.
This winter, store your boat indoors where it's dry and protected from the elements. Hagedon Marine Boat Storage offers dry, safe, fireproof indoor storage, but space is limited. Regardless of your boat's size, make, model, or whether it's with or without a trailer, they can store it. They also offer land or water valet pickup service and fall freeze protection services. Winter season storage starts at just $684, so store with the best. Visit hagedonmarine.com/storage.
Imagine a financial services partner fully invested in your success. I'm JD Allen, branch manager with Baird. Baird was founded on the simple premise that clients come first. Being privately held has kept that idea front and center for a century. Because as employee owners, all of us at Baird know our success depends on yours. You and Baird, imagine where we can go together.
Visit BairdSpokane.com.
Right now is a great time for a new roof. The temperature isn't so terribly hot for roofers, and you can get it done before snowfall. But who should you call? Kodiak Roofing. Kodiak Roofing has an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau and will treat your roof as their own and offer many different roofing options to choose from. If you've been thinking about replacing your roof, stop thinking and call now. Kodiak Roofing. KodiakRoofingCompany.com.
Buy or sell with Patchin and Lukens. Sponsored by Dynamic Decks. Custom decks built right.
700 ESPN, 105.3 FM. It's Patchin and Lukens here in the Prosper Coors Light Studio. Aaron Best coming up at the top of the hour. We'll hear from the Eastern Eagle head coach. No game for the Eagles. They're on a bye week this week, getting ready to head to Montana in 2 weeks. But Aaron will join us coming up at 5 o'clock. Buy or sell is brought to you by Dynamic Decks. Custom decks built right. I got one at my house. Get one at your house. My wife says it's the best thing at my house, and that includes me. All right. Here we go. Rick Lukens, you ready to go?
Yep.
Oh, before I ask you the first question, Steve, we good on callers?
Yes, we are.
All right. That's excellent. All right. Here we go. Buy or sell, Rick Lukens. Never making the World Series is worse than having the longest playoff drought in team sports. That's the two things the Mariners hold today. Never making the World Series is worse than having the longest playoff drought in team sports.
I'm going to sell because if they had, if the Mariners had, like, let's say, through some miracle had made the World Series, way back early, let's say in like 1982 or something like that, and then hadn't gone to the playoffs since, that would be worse.
Okay. All right. So the drought is longer than never having it made.
Not being in the postseason is worse than not having won a World Series because
not making it to the World Series.
Not making, yes, even that.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Buy or sell, Rick Lukens. Lamar Jackson is a slippery and elusive quarterback. Buy or sell?
He is.
Yeah, I know that. Right. That's not the question. The question is, the Seahawks get 3 or more sacks this week?
I'm going to sell it. Even with Jaron Reed back, which I think will help things out a little bit, help that dynamic out a little bit with those defensive ends. They were close a couple times last week on Baker Mayfield, and he had some nice footwork to get out of jams. So it's going to be hard to, I think, bring him down. So I sell. And right now I hope they get 1 sack on him.
Okay.
Seriously.
Well, it'd be bad to go back-to-back weeks without a sack.
Yeah, it would. If you get the win, you get the win. But
considering what they're paying those 2 defensive ends now,
I know they've got to get in and start making that work. Be really neat to see it happen. But I wouldn't bet any dollar, even $1, on them getting 3 sacks against Lamar Jackson.
Buy or sell, Rick Lukens. I have mowed my lawn for the final time.
No, I sell that. I'm certainly going to get the mower out to get some leaves up, and that's not really mowing the lawn. That's more raking with a mower. But the backyard still needs cutting, so that'll be a double thing. I'll get leaves and I will cut because when I went to cut last week, to mow last week, was my last opportunity in the morning. There was still, after like 3 days, there was still a crust of snow on the backyard. And so I wasn't able to mow, so I do need to get that done. I got the front done.
Okay. Buy or sell, Rick Lukens. I'd rather eat a bowl of oatmeal than a bowl of cream of wheat.
I've had both, and I will buy it that I'd rather eat the oatmeal.
Oatmeal? Okay.
Oatmeal has a thicker, kind of even possibly a lumpier, if you will, consistency than the cream of wheat. It's a cream of wheat's a very fine, pasty consistency.
It's more smooth than oatmeal.
Yeah, and you can, just like oatmeal, you can dress it up and make it taste a little better with some extra things on it. But I prefer that coarser consistency of the oatmeal for sure.
Where are grits in this?
Non-existent.
Okay,
yeah.
Because that's the third option for some people in this oatmeal cream of wheat grits discussion.
My parents actually, when they were first married, spent some time in the South because my father was down in Fort Benning. And so they took a liking to some Southern cuisine. And so we had grits when I was a kid. We'd have them for breakfast, usually. And they weren't horrible, but they weren't good either.
Okay. Buy or sell, Rick Lukens, plain tortilla chips. Tortilla chips, plain, not flavored chips, no salsa, no nothing, just plain tortilla chips. Are you buying or selling those?
No, I'm gonna buy it. It's not my preferred way. I'd rather dip them in a little pico or some green sauce. But no, I'll have some of those Juanitas. That's my preferred tortilla chip. I'll take a handful of Juanitas and get a beer, and I'm good.
I agree with you on that. The Juanitas are the best tortilla chip.
They really
out there.
are. Yeah,
they got a little bit of grease on them.
Yeah.
And that's I will agree with you on that. Steve the Wingman.
I am Steve the Wingman.
All right. Mike said my mom would buy Farina, and it sucked. We're not asking you about Farina, okay? Farina. If your mom fed you Farina, she didn't like you.
She was a sadist.
She just didn't like you. So take that, Mike.
She probably dressed you up in really embarrassing outfits as well.
High shorts with straps.
Suspenders.
With suspenders, exactly. Steve the Wingman.
Yes.
Never making the World Series is worse than having the longest playoff drought in team sports.
I think I'm actually going to buy that because the Mariners are the one and only team not to make the World Series. That whole longest playoff drought thing, that changes from year to year, sport to sport. It was the Bills, and then it was the Browns, and the Lions, and the Nats, and the Florida, and so that's all over the map. It's not great. They're both bad, but I guess I will go with never making the World Series is worse.
Okay. Buy or sell, Steve. The Seahawks this weekend against Lamar Jackson get 3 or more sacks.
Yeah, I don't see that. I'll sell that.
Okay. I have mowed my lawn for the final time.
I don't think so. So I'm gonna sell. I mowed my lawn right before that first dumb snow came, and then it was freezing, and then it snowed again, and then it was really cold, and then it froze, and then it froze. And so my lawn has grown, next to nothing.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm thinking I might mow one more time.
Okay. All right. Buy or sell, Steve. I'd rather eat a bowl of oatmeal than a bowl of cream of wheat.
I'll certainly buy that. I like oatmeal. I've never had cream of wheat. I'd be willing to try it. But
really?
Yeah, I've never had it.
Hospitals we used to be always big on the cream of wheat.
It's easier to fix.
And hospital food is not good. So,
they're
lime jello and cream of wheat.
It's better now.
I always wondered what tasty wheat tasted like, though. Anyone?
I don't know tasty wheat.
I don't
Sorry,
either.
haven't got that.
The Matrix reference.
Oh, man,
Movie
that goes back a long way, Steve.
Long ways, yeah. The Matrix, that super old movie.
There was something when I was a kid called Zoom. Did you have Zoom?
I don't.
Is that the micro? No,
no.
You were a kid.
Zoom was it was some type of wheat product, but it was brown, and it was pretty good. Actually,
wasn't it like cream of wheat with brown rice or whole grain? Something I don't remember. I never had that. I never had that. Steve, just straight up plain tortilla chips.
Yeah, I'll buy that.
You will buy that? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. I'm with Steve. Not making the World Series is worse to me than having the longest playoff drought. I look back at my list, guys, and there are 7 teams that have never made it to the World Series or only made it once to the World Series. You can't even count the Miami Marlins in the bottom 10 because they have 2 World Series championships. There are 10 teams that have won either 1 or 2 World Series championships, and only 3 of those teams have won it. Houston won 1. Arizona won 1. The Angels won 1. The teams that haven't won it, San Diego, Texas, Milwaukee, Colorado, Tampa, Washington, at least right now, and then the Seattle Mariners. I do think the Hawks get 3 or more sacks because I think Lamar Jackson runs into a sack or 2. I think they're going to get pressure on him. I'm buying that. I mowed my lawn yesterday. I'm going to buy this with the Rick Lukens caveat.
Yeah.
If it doesn't snow for 2 more weeks, I'll be out there again mowing it. And
Okay.
I may do your vacuuming with the lawnmower.
Yes.
It just, my problem is I've got a gigantic oak tree in my front yard that drops too many leaves in a specific spot to mow them.
Oh, wow.
So
especially if they get wet, huh?
Well, that's the other problem is, and we always get frost this time of the year. So we could have no rain or no snow, and the leaves get wet.
Yeah.
So because I mowed it yesterday, so I'm gonna buy that. Guys, right now I go back and forth on this. I'm gonna buy oatmeal right now over cream of wheat. A year ago it was cream of wheat, but the reason I like oatmeal better than cream of wheat, it's a better delivery system for fruit.
Oh, yeah.
Fruit is better in oatmeal for some reason than it is cream of wheat. Cream of wheat to me is a little brown sugar or just a teeny tiny bit of butter.
Mm-hmm.
Fruit in cream of wheat, I don't like it. I don't like cream of wheat when I put fruit in it. So I'm going to go with oatmeal right now.
That's pasty.
And I'm going to sell plain tortilla chips. While Juanitas are great, plain tortilla chips to me scream for some cheese on them as nachos, a little pico or salsa, maybe even a dip in a sour cream, or for those of you like guacamole, I hate guacamole. I'm going to sell just straight up plain tortilla chips. But you reminded me, I got closer to the middle with when you said Juanitas, Rick, than I was at the start when I wrote this question. All right, Steve, to the phone lines we go to play Buy or Sell, brought to you by Dynamic Decks, custom decks built right.
Our first competitor is in jeopardy of becoming the second greatest quarterback in the history of Meade High School, thanks to Ryan Blair and the fantastic season he's having at Meade. He passed for 513 yards and 8 touchdowns in one game just last week against Marina in California. I think that Mr. Ryan Blair might soon pass one Griffin Garski.
Wow.
Hey, Griff, is the only reason you didn't throw for 600 yards in the game is McLaughlin wouldn't let you throw that many yards?
Man, that makes my arms sore just thinking about it. Holy smokes.
Who was the running back? Was it DJ Funk was the running back at Meade?
He got hurt.
That ran for 300 yards?
DJ Funk, and I actually saw DJ Funk today, oddly enough.
Wow.
And got to reminisce a little bit. It was good to see him, but yeah.
Was he the guy that ran for almost 300 yards in a game, like 50 carries? Was that him or was that somebody else?
No, that was somebody else.
Okay.
We didn't run the football. Remember, we threw the ball. That was back 2 years before I was there with Ryan Ballard and those guys. They ran the ball all the time.
All right. Okay.
Did all the non-fun stuff.
There you go. Yeah. No quarterback likes to hand off. Speaking of that, Connor Halliday will join us coming up on Friday. He's a quarterback who never liked to hand off.
True.
Griff, never making the World Series is worse than having the longest playoff drought in team sports.
They both sound awful, honestly, and I couldn't care less about the horrible Mariners right now. I wish we had a team to get behind and root for and look forward to watching. But I don't know. I guess I'd have to say it's worse to not even make the playoffs, let alone the World Series. So
Okay, so you're going to sell that then. All right.
no.
Buy or sell, the Seahawks get 3 or more sacks this week.
I'm with you. I think that they're going to probably luck themselves into a sack or two. So I'm going to go ahead and buy that. I think that Lamar's going to be pretty wide-eyed and in over his head a little bit in that environment. That's his first time to the stadium, I believe, to the Seattle Stadium. So I think he's going to be a little skittish. And if our guys can stay in their lanes and not chase too much, I think we'll get more than 3.
All right. Buy or sell, I have mowed my lawn for the final time.
Made me chuckle when you brought this one up. I just mowed last weekend, and classic rookie mistake. I filled my tank all the way up to the brim.
Oh no!
And so now my if I don't mow at least one more time, I've got a half a tank of gas, which will just stress me out for the entire winter and gum everything up. So I'll probably go out and do some circles around the lawn and burn off the gas one more time.
Griff,
so I guess that's technically a buy.
Just go out and get some of that stay-bill and just put a little bit of it in your gas tank and you're good. It'll start right up next spring.
I don't think that's what he's worried about. It's you're storing something with a half a tank of gas in it.
Oh, okay.
And it's probably more than anything, my dad is old school, and it's like his pet peeve leaving an ounce of gas in a gas tank. And so every time he comes over in the winter, he's going to give me crap about it. So probably more to appease him.
Once you get to this time of the year, you only put in a half a tank. Because I did that one time, and I'll just run the lawnmower. How long would it take?
It runs forever.
It runs forever on a half a tank. Oh. All right. I'd rather eat a bowl of oatmeal than a bowl of cream of wheat.
I buy that. I have one every morning, and but I wouldn't eat it if I couldn't have a big old scoop of peanut butter in it. So,
wow, really?
That's my go-to. And if I'm really treating myself, I put a big old handful of brown sugar in it. So that's one of those two.
Both the peanut butter and the brown sugar?
No, one or the other.
One or the other. Okay.
Not
All
both.
Right. Yeah.
Just most of the time, it's the peanut butter.
You're going to like a sugar coma if you have all that.
I was going to say your doctor will be on the phone and calling you as soon as you hang up here. Griffin, what about just flat out plain tortilla chips? Are you buying or selling?
No, I'm selling. I got to have something on it. Queso or salsa for sure.
Okay. All right. Hey, Griffin, thanks for the call. We appreciate it as always.
Hey, real quickly, Gleason's in the car and he wants to say hi to you guys.
Oh.
What's up, Gleason?
Hey, Gleason.
Hi.
What's up?
What's up? All right. Have a good day, guys. Thanks a lot.
Thanks.
Yeah.
That's Griffin Garski.
Yeah. Named his kid after Steve Gleason. Yeah.
That's the guy that Steve used to stalk in high school. Did you do his homework, Steve?
No.
Oh, okay.
Can I carry your books for you, Griff?
Griff,
can I go get you another milk?
He was actually a really good student, right, Steve?
Who, Griffin?
Yeah.
I don't have the slightest idea. I was a really good student.
I know you were.
I don't care about anybody else. I was focused on myself.
So that's the American way, baby.
That's right.
Man.
I didn't start writing papers for Meade football players until I got out. Never mind.
Till your brother went to school, right?
No.
Oh,
no,
right,
didn't have to do that either. He didn't go to school. So anyway, I don't need to get into all this.
He was on the football team, though. I know that.
At Meade, he was.
Yeah, he was on Friday Night Sports Extra. All right.
Yeah, I suppose he was.
Yes, he was. All right, Steve. We got 3 ties to break. That's the way Griffin Garski plays the game. So who's our final competitor today?
Well, I hope that one day our final competitor's dream will come true and he can have a birthday party in a blimp. Prognos.
Prognos.
Oh, man, what's going on, guys?
Hey,
it's Hump Day. Get down. Dynamic.
Yeah, we like you on Hump Day, Prognos. That seems to be your sweet spot.
Just launch us right
over
the hump.
Allow me to work my way across through Cool Slide.
It's when you hear Prognos's voice, you think the weekend. So if we get him on Friday, I feel cheated because we're already there.
Yeah, we just need to know that it's coming.
Yeah,
that's
so
all.
when he comes on Wednesday, you can see the fun tunnel ahead of you for the weekend.
Fun tunnel.
Yeah.
I I like that.
Yeah, when I hear think of Griffin Garsky, it makes me think of my days as an Eastern Eagle.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Because I had a chance to see him play, and it also makes me think about the party I used to have. We had a Hawaiian party. We'd ship in sand and bring it inside.
Was that the last month you were in the apartment before you checked out, or was that early on?
We'll just say that the landlord was not pleased.
Can you imagine that? Yeah, you can have our $250 cleaning deposit because it's going to take you $900 to get the sand out. It's 3 inches deep. All right, Prognos, I got 3 ties to break. We know you can handle the pressure. You ready to roll?
I'm ready to rock. Let's do it.
All right, teeing it up. Never making first of 3 tiebreakers. Never making the World Series is worse than having the longest playoff drought in team sports.
I'm going to sell it. I think it's worse not making the playoffs. At least you can be competitive if you make the playoffs.
Okay. Seahawks get the second tiebreaker. Seahawks get 3 or more sacks this week.
I'm gonna sell it. I think there's too much magic in that guy's leg.
Okay. That's Lamar Jackson he's speaking of. Buy or sell, I've mowed my lawn for the final time.
Man, I guess we're going to have to find out because I mowed it over the weekend.
Okay, so do you anticipate today that you've mowed it for the final time?
Yeah, I anticipate this is the last time. But then again, though, it's crazy in this neck of the woods. So who knows?
You got to anticipate because I mean, if we don't get any snow till November, you might mow it twice.
Right.
I keep mowing it if we don't get snow until they stop picking up the green bin.
Sure.
And then when the green bin, because I'm not taking that stuff anywhere else.
Hey, you can leave it sitting in there over the winter.
Not doing that.
Well, I've done it.
That would smell lovely.
That is just
because it gets cold, it doesn't really matter.
I'm not doing that. Buy or sell, Prognos. I'd rather eat a bowl of oatmeal than a bowl of cream of wheat.
Man, I've been mulling this over because I like them both a lot. Like with the cream of wheat, I like to put in a little bit of brown sugar, but I also like to put in Tabasco sauce.
Really? Wow.
Give it a little extra 1-2 punch.
That could make it dinner instead of breakfast.
I'm telling you, I don't believe there's a wrong way to eat cream of wheat.
Yeah, or maybe just, if it's a choice, just don't eat it. That's the right way.
I know people, but I know people who put cheese in it.
That actually I've had that. That's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of like grits.
A little bit, like polenta.
Very similar.
Yeah. So are you buying oatmeal or are you selling cream of wheat?
I'm going to buy oatmeal because I still like to have the cinnamon and the raisins, brown sugar.
Okay. All right. Last question. Final of 3 tiebreakers, Prognos. Plain, straight up, plain old tortilla chips.
Man, that is a tough one for me because I like it all kinds of ways. But I'm probably going to sell it because I want to have some queso or maybe some cabbage on it. The pico de gallo. Get down.
Yeah.
That's
have some festivities.
That is the voice of the weekend, Prognos, and we get him on Wednesday.
Pico de gallo.
It just gets us that closer.
He says pico de gallo, and I know the weekend's coming.
There
baby.
you go. Hey, Prognos, thanks for playing.
Oh man, it's gonna be a big weekend. Frostproof Coors Light, queso dynamic.
Woo!
Prognos.
All right. That was Prognos.
He always has a big exit.
Yeah.
There's no small leaving the show for Prognos. He's right through it. All right. 3-2 we sold. Making the World Series is worse than the longest playoff drought in team sports. 3-2 we sold. The Seahawks get 3 or more sacks this week. 3-2 we sold. We have mowed the lawn for the final time, but the 5 competitors just don't know. We're guessing 5-0. We'd rather have oatmeal than cream of wheat. We all bought that.
By the way, I looked up Zoom, that product. It's 100% wheat, but we used to have it put milk on it, milk and a little brown sugar. It was very good.
You like that?
Oh, it's very good.
It doesn't look great.
In fact, it's made by Krusteaz, the pancake mix company.
Yeah, I like their pancake mix.
I might go out and get some and try it out.
All right, we need a complete
little
report.
Retro breakfast there.
3-2, we sold plain tortilla chips. That's Griffin Garsky and Prognos, a couple of all-star competitors here. I'll read some of your texts when we come back. Aaron Best coming up in a few minutes. It's Patchin and Lukens here in the Frost Brew Coors Light studio.
Guacamole, guacamole, guacamole. Here's Matt Shupp, owner of Dynamic Decks.
You know, one of the things I wanted to point out was we've been very blessed to have amazing employees at Dynamic Decks, and I have the greatest crews out there to build these decks, and we get nothing but compliments from our customers. You know, as the owner of the company, that's the most important thing to me, is that the customer has a good experience. When it's all done, not only did they have a nice deck, but they just really enjoyed the guys, and they really do. And I know a lot of people hire a contractor and they send their guys out and they show up on the job, and sometimes it's scary. And they're like, I don't know these guys. I don't trust these guys. I don't know if I want these guys coming in my house or being in my yard or leaving their tools here or whatever, but we don't have any problem with that with our guys. Everybody likes who we send out to the jobs.
Custom decks built right. Dynamic Decks. Visit them online, dynamicdecksinc.com, or phone 464-3325. Dynamic Decks.
Time out for a GMC price challenge. Save up to $10,000 on the Sierra 1500 pickup, Yukon XL, and Acadia SUV at Becker Buick GMC. Closeout pricing on all 2019 trucks and SUVs. Road construction discounts on all 2020 models in stock. While you're at Becker, check out the GMC multifunction tailgate. Top dollar paid for your trade-in. Becker Buick GMC. 6 blocks east of Division on Sprague. Warranty forever on all new and most used. Number 1 in customer satisfaction.
You'll never guess what Northern Quest is giving away in October. Or maybe you will. It's Sweet Pumpkin Payouts. Play daily with your Camus Rewards card for a chance to guess the number of candies in our giant Halloween pumpkin, and you could win $30,000. Then enter to win thousands more during our Progressive Hot Seats on October 30th. Sweet Pumpkin Payouts at Northern Quest. All treats, no tricks. Details at northernquest.com.
The Seahawk defense gets a boost this week. I'm Dennis Patchin with his Coors Light, 700 ESPN, 105.3 FM Spokane Sports Center. Jared Reed returns from his 6-game NFL suspension this week as the Seahawks will host Baltimore on Sunday. Reed had 10.5 sacks last year from his defensive tackle spot, and head coach Pete Carroll says when Reed's back on the field, he makes everyone on that side of the ball better. With an injury to starter Lucas Perrick, the Spokane Chiefs have made a deal for a netminder. The Chiefs have added 18-year-old goaltender Brett Ballas from the Prince Albert Raiders. The Chiefs will be sending a draft pick to the Raiders for his services. Spokane on the road this weekend for a pair of games at Prince George. The Washington Nationals headed to the World Series for the first time in franchise history with a sweep of the St. Louis Cardinals in the NLCS. That makes the Seattle Mariners the only franchise currently in baseball to have never played in the World Series. The 700 ESPN 105.3 FM Spokane Sports Center is brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light, mountain cold refreshment made to chill.
Tweeting daily, sometimes more than once. Patchin and Lukens on Twitter at 700 ESPN.
700 ESPN, 105.3 FM. It's Patchin and Lukens here in the Frost Brewed Coors Light studio. Welcome back to the show. Couple of texts here. People are asking clarification on this tortilla chip question. And let me get that before we get into the cream of wheat issue. By the way, Shelby's mom texting the show today saying Shelby just got out of the car on her way to a soccer game and said, I need to call in soon. I miss playing this game and talking to them. We missed having Shelby on the show. JoJo said, are plain tortilla chips like I hate my life chips?
No, that's got to be regular potato chips.
That is regular potato chips or hate my life chips. No, I don't think so. Here's the other question. Gabe said, are plain Fritos tortilla chips? No, those are Fritos.
Those are corn chips, actually.
But they're Fritos.
Yeah, I mean they're completely different. Got a lot more salt on them, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, Bruce says Juanita chips are like crack. They're
pretty good.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
So no, they aren't. They're just those plain triangle chips. They're not Doritos. They're just the plain ones. And the cheaper the price, the worse the chip. You can buy there's some of those you can buy for like 99 cents for a big bag or $1.99.
Right.
You got to have something with those. Those are moisture sucking instruments when you put them in your mouth. Those are just awful. Corey says, is cream of wheat the same as malto meal?
I don't think so.
I don't believe it is.
Because cream of wheat is wheat and malto meal is malt.
Yeah, I don't believe it is. Adam said, what about wheat hearts? I had those at my grandma's.
Well, or is he asking if Zoom is
wheat hearts?
Is wheat hearts. It's 100% whole wheat is what it is. So
I don't know.
I think it's everything. Yeah.
Spokane Ed with a text saying grits with butter, Parmesan, and Tabasco. Yum. Ed, also known as poor college student. Hey, you know what? Whatever gets you through the night.
Grits take a while to cook too.
They do.
You don't get. I mean, there's probably instant grits, but I don't know that I would do those.
Me either. All right. And somebody texted us. Gabe said Ravens are like the top 3 in the NFL in sacks. Their offensive line is. So sacks could be rare this weekend.
So they're top 3 in not being sacked, is what he said. Okay. Yes.
They're one of the 3 best offensive linemen in the number of sacks they allowed.
The mobile quarterback helps with that for certain.
It can. It can also detract from it because if offensive linemen don't know where he is, you can block the guy the wrong way.
They might get a few extra holding penalties that way too.
Well, let's hope there's a bunch of holding and a bunch of sacks this weekend. All right, when we come back, Aaron Best will join us. We'll hear from the Eastern Eagle head coach, 700 ESPN, 105.3 FM.
Dave Smith's annual Low-Tober sales event is here. Find new roads and save up to $17,000 off new Chevy Silverado trucks during Low-Tober. Find out why we are the Northwest's largest GM dealer. 800-635-8000. DaveSmiths.com.
It's been reported that over 60% of small businesses close after just one cyber attack. But the good news is, we have a solution. Introducing Comcast Business Security Edge, a security solution that automatically protects all the devices on your network. No additional installation or updates needed. The security is built directly into your internet, so every connected device is protected from things like phishing, malware, and risky sites. And it all starts on the nation's largest gig speed network. Right now, get fast, reliable internet and add Comcast Business Security Edge for just $29.95 more per month. Faster speed for your business, protection for all its devices. What's better than that? Call 1-800-501-6000 today. Comcast Business, beyond fast.
Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. Requires Comcast Business Internet and router at additional monthly cost. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra. Subject to change. Limited to Comcast Business Security Edge service. Does not prevent access to affected sites if connected via public Wi-Fi, VPN, or non-Comcast DNS servers.
Well, that very dry summer we had is certainly gone. We're in fall now, and the dampness has already come in the form of some snow. More rain is coming, rain and snow mixed. Dampness can actually bring out problems inside your home, not because of leaks. I'm not talking about that, but I'm talking about dampness can unlock things in your carpeting. For some, like an old stain that was never cleaned properly. Be that anything, something you spilled or not. But then certainly with pet stains, that once the dampness kind of unlocks it, you're getting the visual stain, but you're also getting the odor as well. And especially with pet stains, that's something that's going to take a little extra effort, even for Zero Res, to get out in your home. Zero Res has the best people, and the powered water treatment is the best in the business, but sometimes it takes a little more than that. And Zero Res has pet treatment services that can really take care of the pet stains in your home. Their technicians are highly trained in how to perform these services, first of all, to spot the problem and then perform the services. Yes, they cost a little extra. No Zero Res tech is ever going to recommend a service that they don't believe you need, and that's gospel on that. But when they recommend a pet treatment service, you might want to perk up and listen, because they can go down deeper and get that stain and eradicate it so that you're not getting a recurrence of that look or that smell that you don't want in your home. Right now, the month of October, right in the middle of it, is Pet Month with Zero Res, and they're saying to everybody, get these pet stains taken care of now. Their pet treatment services are all $60 off. Just call Zero Res, book your normal carpet cleaning appointment, and ask them about their pet treatment services. Everything's $60 off. Just mention my name when you call Zero Res at 92 Clean. Call Zero Res at 92 Clean or book online at ZeroResSpokane.com. Zero Res carpets and air ducts, the right way to clean.
I've been telling you for years that Redline Pub and Barbecue is home of the finest barbecue in town. Their wine broiled and barbecue specials are served every day. Always great sports viewing and happy hour price drinks to go along with it. And patio dining in the winter months. Lunch and dinner starting at 11 a.m. Monday through Sunday. And don't forget the Redline Barbecue also caters for groups of 5 to 500. Redline Pub and Barbecue on the corner of Division and Main, downtown Spokane. You never go away hungry or unsatisfied.
Thursday on the Arby's GSL Game of the Week, it's a big 4A battle as Gonzaga Prep takes on Ferris. A Saxon win moves them into a tie with the Bullpups in the standings. The Game of the Week is brought to you in part by Damon Orthodontics, George Gee Automotive, Tiorama, Alliant Insurance Services, the NECA IBEW, Papa Murphy's, State Bank Northwest, and Multi-Care Health System. Thursday night, the Arby's GSL Game of the Week, Gonzaga Prep versus Ferris. The pregame starts at 7, kickoff at 7:30, here on 700 ESPN and 105.3 FM.
Hey, snowplow owners, Titan Truck still has plows and can get them installed fast, but you gotta move because when they're gone, they're gone. Saw a used plow on Craigslist? Call Titan first before getting stuck with the wrong plow. Titan Truck sells and installs Western snowplows, guaranteed for 2 full seasons. Western snowplows, whiteouts, V-plows, contractor, heavy duty, and half-ton straight blades, they got them all. Oh, and they take trades too, but you gotta act fast. Call 509-755-5037, stop in at 605 North Fancher Road in Spokane Valley, or online at TitanTruck.com. Titan Truck, get more done, have more fun.
I'm Secretary of State Kim Wyman. Voting is the most sacred right we hold as Americans. Washington's 2019 general election is November 5th. The more eligible voters who participate, the more effective our government becomes. Take some time to learn about the candidates and issues before voting. Then mail your ballot back for free. Just make sure it's postmarked on or before November 5th, or take it to a ballot drop box before 8 p.m. on Election Day.
Sponsored by the Office of the Secretary of State and aired in cooperation with the Washington State Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Dennis Patchin and Rick Lukens, the 2 biggest names in local sports.
You are entitled to your opinion.
Weekdays at 3 on 700 ESPN and 105.3 FM. You can email the show. Tell Patchin and Lukens what you think. The email address is areyoukkiddingme@700ESPN.com.
Welcome back to Patchin and Lukens here in the Frostbrew Coors Light Studio on 700 ESPN, 105.3 FM. Even though they're on a bye week, Aaron Best still joins us. Always a pleasure to have the head coach of the Eastern Washington Eagles joining us. Aaron, thanks for being here today. How are you?
I'm good, thanks, Dennis. Always look forward to Wednesdays and allowing you to spread the Eagle word on your show.
Let's talk a little bit about the win last week. What did that do for your football team going into the bye week?
Well, anytime you go into a bye, ideally you'd like to come out on top and be victorious, which we were this year. Last year we're on the flip side of things. We're on the road in Ogden last year, and kind of left a different taste in our mouth going into the bye week, because anytime you're on the wrong side of the scoreboard, you almost want to strap up the next day and go play, go practice, and get after it again. So we had to take a 2-week hiatus from that last year, but this year we're on a different end of things. We played really, really well for 30 minutes and pretty well for the entire 60 minutes in all 3 phases. So I was really proud of our bunch. Pitched a shutout in the first half, scored 40 points in the first half at home, on homecoming with great weather, which was just the exact opposite of 2 weeks ago against North Dakota at home weather-wise. And so really proud of these guys. Now we got to get a few guys back in the training room and get some ice, some extra ice, get a few more Band-Aids or bigger Band-Aids, and try to get back on the saddle as healthy as we can, starting things on Sunday for the five games left in the season.
I don't know if a bye week ever comes at the right time or the wrong time. Is it a good time for your team to take a week off?
Well, that question's posed every year. I think it's like a signing class. It's always at the right time.
Yeah.
You always sign a great class. It's what transcends after that time to see if it really was right or better or in the midst of it, because you could argue, well, you got great momentum into a bye week, and then all of a sudden it halts your momentum. Sometimes you look forward to that week of fundamentals to get back to where you need to be and kind of hone in on some things that maybe you're lacking. I think they always come at a great time, anywhere probably from game 4 to 7, in the midst of the season, to kind of break up the monotony of competition and focus on school and focus on your relationships, whether it be family or friends. I think that's always a pleasure to have. Then there's not a bunch of things that you've been asked to do for 7 weeks thus far and 11 weeks in totality. I mean, we've been 11 straight weeks at it, 4 weeks of camp and 7 weeks of games. So it is nice to kind of change things up, get out of your rhythm just a little bit, even though we're a creature of habit, a little bit as players and coaches, to then get back into things, shake things up a little bit this week, do things a bit differently, and then get back to what we know best, and that's practice and prepare for the next contest.
Aaron, is this week the most important thing that you guys can do is just try and get as healthy as you can for the stretch drive?
A few things we try to really hone in on in bye week, and that's a self-scout, both offensively and defensively. Try to find what our tendencies have been, look back at what we've done, what we've been good at, and try to enhance what we're not as good at, and either make it better or trash it and go a different direction. I think 7 games is a good barometer to see kind of what you've done well, what you need to continue to do, and what you also need to work on. So I think we look at that and from a self-scout perspective. I think the training room's got to be your, if not a great friend, your best friend this week. Not necessarily to rehab, but also to prehab. To get yourself ready in a mindset and a frame of mind. Sunday, having a 5-week venture, 5 weeks left on the slate for the season, and then also stay on the phone a little longer with your girlfriend. Call mom maybe a time or two more than you usually would. Maybe head to the head to the Writer Center for a little bit longer, or show up in a study group and do some things that maybe time doesn't allow you to do as easily when you're in preparation phase of a game. And so we'll do that as players and as coaches, and we'll also get on the road and kind of spread our wings on the road a little bit. Hit a few schools, collect a little bit more data, and try to kind of solidify this 2020 class as soon as we can, but doing still the right way.
Prehab, is that Aaron Best's word of the week?
Not the word of the week. I wish the coaches have prehab. No, it's just staying in front of it. It's a level. The easiest way to explain it, Dennis, probably is be more proactive as opposed to reactive. Just because you don't have an ankle sprain, maybe your ankle's a little tender, is be in front of it. Do what you can, whether it be through ice, through stem, through game ready, through motions and movements. Find yourself in the training room a little bit out front of things instead of being reactionary. So kind of a term that's been thrown out the last couple of years. I didn't know what prehab was 20 years ago, but I've been accustomed to knowing what prehab is, and staying in front, getting your shoulders right, getting your flexibility better, and whether it be yoga or whether it be a bag of ice, kind of be out in front of it instead of behind it.
I that's a new word to me, so I always enjoy when we get those new words that pop up like that. All right, so how much actual football will you guys do this week?
Well, the football side of things, we have 3 practices slated. Yesterday we'll condense them just a little bit, but we'll get some good work in. It's a big focus on fundamentals, and also our guys that haven't had a ton of reps through 7 games. So if you're out of practice, you'll see a bunch of our guys that are wearing sneakers instead of cleats because we want to give those guys time off. We accumulate a ton of reps. We track our reps very specifically throughout the year, whether it be on OD and special teams, to see kind of what reps and how many reps we've accumulated individually. So we're in front of that, but we'll practice Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, give the guys a day off, physical day off Friday and Saturday, and then we'll meet as a team on Sunday. So we'll hit it hard in the hour and a half we're out there. We're banging. We're getting after it. So it's not walk-through tempo. It's not a feel sorry for yourself tempo. It's not a week off mindset. It's more of a let's get these younger guys reps. Let's give them ample opportunity to get on film. Let's coach them up as fast and as fierce as we can with the coaching coming from those older guys that may not be wearing pads, but they still are engaged throughout the entire practice.
I think that sometimes we forget guys that aren't playing and an opportunity on a bye week for them to get better and get some meaningful time where they, in practice, necessarily don't see a lot of time.
Yeah. And, every coach and has a different outlook on things. And I think when you talk, like I said, 20 years ago, when you're talking about bye weeks, I don't even know if bye weeks existed 20 years ago. But if they did, it felt like a normal work week. So you want to make it different, but you don't want to make it totally different. You still want to get mentally prepared. You lean on your older guys to be quote unquote assistant coaches throughout the week, be able to talk to the guys that are getting reps. And I think it's important to kind of step away. Sometimes it's nice to take a guy off the field in the midst of a game, sometimes to give him a different perspective to then put him back out there to be more successful at what he loves to do. So different ways to do it. It's our way of kind of doing it this year. Collectively, it's very similar to what we've done in the past, but each year and every year is different as far as what we need in the bye week phase of things.
And interesting going into the Montana week next week, so you get a little opportunity to get rest and relaxed, and we'll talk about Montana next week. Aaron Best, Eagles have the weekend off, and then they'll return next week. Aaron will come back with us next week. We'll have more with him. Aaron, always a pleasure. Thanks so much. Enjoy the time off as much as you can get, and we'll talk to you next week.
Thanks so much, Dennis. I appreciate it.
Aaron Best, head coach of the Eastern Washington Eagles, joins us every Wednesday. He'll be back with us next week. We're going to take a time out. It's Patchin and Lukens here in the Frostbrook Coors Light Studio, 700 ESPN, 105.3 FM.
There's a war going on at Aspen Sound, a sound war that is. The store that sells the most in October will eat steak and the losers will eat beans. But the real winners will be our Aspen Sound customers because every store will do whatever it takes to sell the most and eat steak. We've got remote start systems starting at $289 installed and a Rockford Fosgate base package with a 500-watt amp and a 12-inch woofer for just $197. How about a Kenwood CD player with Bluetooth for music streaming and hands-free calling for just $97 and Alpine CarPlay with Android Auto Deck for only $297. And check out our new home theater and smart home department. Who will win the war? You will, because each store will do whatever it takes to eat steak and not beans. Plus, bring in a bag of food to be donated to the local food bank and we'll give you 10% off your purchase. And as always, we will beat any authorized price. It's the Steak and Bean Sale at Aspen Sound with 3 locations in Spokane and Coeur d'Alene.
Mercedes-Benz. Drive the best or drive nothing at all. If those words speak to you, it's because you expect more than mere transportation and more than mere service. Mercedes-Benz of Spokane is the winner of the Silver Laurel Award, given to only a select few dealers in the nation. Visit during the Certified Pre-Owned October sales event for incredible lease offers. Mercedes-Benz of Spokane, part of the Gee Automotive Group in Liberty Lake and online at SpokaneMercedes.com.
The holidays are a time for family, a time to share loving memories and make new ones. And after your holiday feast, you need your kitchen to just work. That's why at Gold Seal Plumbing, we stand by the InSinkErator Pro 1000 LP. Gold Seal Plumbing is offering the lowest price of the season, and we will guarantee it won't clog during the holidays. If it does, we will come fix it, even on a holiday. Enjoy the InSinkErator Pro 1000 LP this holiday season. Gold Seal Plumbing, if you need a plumber, we're on our way.
A healthy life is a happy life.
I'm Robin Nance.
And I'm Derek Dice. This month's Happy Life coverage is dedicated to women's health.
Too many of us put our own health on hold to take care of our loved ones.
We're putting the focus on you.
Learn how to set healthy goals, what questions to ask your doctor, and the medical tests you shouldn't put off.
Take control of your health.
Go to KXLY.com for news for your happy life, and watch Good Morning Northwest and 4 News Now all this month.
Hey you, how's it going? Been doing anything fun lately?
Hey, like usual, no. I can't afford to have fun.
Yes, you can. You just need to check out bidonspokane.com.
Bidonspokane.com? I think I've heard of it, but I don't know what it is.
It's seriously so awesome. An online auction where you can buy items from local businesses at 50 to 80% off retail value. It's free to register, and all you have to do is bid on the items you want. The online auction part makes it fun, too.
Wow, thanks for letting me know. I'm going to check out bidonspokane.com today.
Dave Smith's annual Low-Tober sales event is here. Save up to $14,500 off new GMC trucks. Find out why we are the Northwest's largest GM dealer. GMC, we are professional grade. 800-635-8000. DaveSmiths.com.
It's back on the field and back to work today for the Seattle Seahawks. I'm Dennis Patchin with his Coors Light, 700 ESPN, 105.3 FM Spokane Sports Center. The Seahawks pass rush gets some much-needed help this week as Jaron Reed returns from his 6-game NFL suspension. Seahawks will host Baltimore on Sunday. The Cougars getting some good news as it looks like receiver Brandon Arconato will return. He was the Cougar leading receiver when he left the lineup. He's missed the last 2 games. Cougs will host Colorado Saturday at homecoming. The Spokane Chiefs have added a goaltender. The Chiefs sending a 9th-round Bantam pick to Prince Albert for Brett Ballas. The Chiefs needed help at that spot with an injury to Lucas Perrick, who was listed as week to week. The Chiefs will be on the road this weekend for a pair of games at Prince George, Friday night and Saturday night against the Cougars. This 700 ESPN, 105.3 FM Spokane Sports Center is brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light. Mountain cold refreshment made to chill.
You can play buy or sell with Patchin and Lukens. Brought to you by Dynamic Decks, custom decks built right.
700 ESPN, 105.3 FM. It's Patchin and Lukens here in the Frost Brewed Coors Light studio. Thanks for being back with us. Eagles off, Vandals at home. Here's the crazy thing is, Washington State and Idaho are having homecoming on the same weekend.
Oh, yeah.
You think hotel rooms in the Palouse are at a premium this weekend?
Well, you know what? It's always tough to get a hotel room. So
wow.
Yeah, I mean, go ahead and have homecoming on the same weekend, because if you didn't make your reservation on a football weekend well in advance, you're not getting a room anyway. It doesn't matter.
You know, that's interesting. My wife is in Moscow this week for work, staying at a hotel there that she stayed at previously. When I went down to Moscow with her this summer, we stayed at the same hotel. And she's done this numerous times now for work, and she stays at the same hotel and gets the same kind of room. And she was disappointed last night or the other night, like, I didn't get the good room. I got a little rinky-dink room. I wonder if that's partly because of the homecoming.
People will come back to campus. Many people will stay longer for a homecoming week. They'll take a day vacation, or they'll come in on a Thursday night and then Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then go home late Sunday. So I mean, that might have been it. But yeah. It just popped into my head. There's also, and we have posted up on our social media accounts as well, but Washington State Athletics today put up some video of a new look court, a new look Friel Court in Beasley. It's a lighter color. It's got a gigantic Cougar logo head right in the middle.
Yeah.
It's got Washington State on one end line. It's got Cougs on the other. And then on the sideline that'll be facing the cameras, it's got hashtag Go Cougs. Okay, all of that is great. And what they did with this is Washington State incorporated not just the campus in Pullman, but all of their satellite campuses. the one in Spokane, the one in Tri-Cities, the one in Everett, the one in Vancouver, and included some of the cityscapes of all of these communities. Okay? So the pavilion and the clock tower is on the court.
Yeah.
Okay? The Blue Bridge, the big bridge in Tri-Cities is on there. There's a thing from Vancouver in there. There's the Space Needle is on it.
Yeah, I mean, basically, it's like a left to right, west to east diorama of the state of Washington is what it is. And I don't know, it's kind of cool. But it is representative of the entire state.
It is.
Yeah. And it's got the Olympic Mountains and the Cascade Mountains.
Correct.
Yeah.
But it doesn't have Everett. It has Seattle.
Okay, but it has Seattle, and it's got the Space Needle, Dennis. But what's on top of the Space Needle?
A Cougs flag.
Yeah, a flag that says WSU. So they basically planted a flag in Seattle is what they've done.
Okay. Frostbrew Coors Light text line always open. Are you okay with a Space Needle being on the scene? Now, it's much like Oregon's, but not that gaudy. Okay,
it doesn't take over the floor.
No. It's a very subtle thing, but there are things on the court that you will know what they are.
Yeah,
and you certainly will know what they are if they're an iconic thing. Like the pavilion,
sure.
Like the Space Needle. But if you're from Vancouver, you're going to recognize a piece of that. If you're from Tri-Cities, you're going to recognize a piece of it. You're going to recognize things. But the Space Needle's on there.
Yeah, I actually think it's a good idea. It's because it's encompassing of the state of Washington. They're saying we own that too.
Because people on social media, at least as far as chiming in on this, aren't buying it.
Well, they should.
Even True to the Blue Corey on the tweeter responded to it and says, I don't understand the background. Why not all rolling hills in the water tower?
I like it. I like the look. I like how subtle that, as Rick said, from one end of the state to the other, across the middle of the court. It's not gigantic. The biggest thing on there, the thing that hits you the most, is the Cougar logo.
Yeah.
And then it's got the subtle skylines of all the areas where Washington State has a branch campus.
Yeah, it's like once again representative of the state. In comparison to the Oregon logo with the trees and everything, it's like the Oregon, the way they've got, it looks like somebody spilled something on that floor and forgot to clean it up. This is very, very subtle, very neat. I think it's going to look great. And we got somebody who says, Rusty Eagle says, I'm not okay with the flag on the Space Needle. Are you saying that because you're a Cougar fan, Rusty? Or because you're a Husky fan? Or because you're a Cougar fan? Because if you're a Cougar fan, you should be okay with it.
Well, but the Cougar flag has flown there.
Yes, it has.
The Mariner flag has flown there. The Seahawk flag has flown there. The Sonics flag has flown there. The Husky flag has flown there.
I think the Eastern Eagle flag might have flown there.
Did it?
I don't know.
I believe the Sounders flag has been up there. The Seattle Storms flag. The Space Needle is not privy to one flag. As they celebrate, the 12th man flag has flown at the Space Needle.
Muffler Ryan, why is the left side all Seattle and the right side Eastern Washington? Look at a map, Ryan. The west is on the left, the east is on the right. Look at a map, man.
Yeah, but as I sit down,
the west is on the left, the east is on the right.
Oh, if you look at a map, yeah.
Yes. You go left to right, west to east. That's what we do on maps.
So you're using this as a map.
Yeah, I mean it's
not as you're looking at the state.
if you're looking at the
What are you
state
talking
like
about?
from outer space, Dennis, the West is on the left and the East is on the right, unless you're looking at it upside down.
Well, then that's only people in southern Washington look at it upside down. All right. I don't have a
Gabe says Muffler Ryan must be a coug. Okay, that's fun. And we love Muffler Ryan, but that's funny.
Gabe, who is a Husky fan, said maybe 28.8% of the Cougar flag should be on the Space Needles. That's the percentage of the 111 Apple Cups they have won.
That's a good slam right there. See, but all we're saying right now, Gabe, is that's needled under your skin just a little bit. It's because you had to make up that joke there. Ben, it's needled under your skin just a little bit.
Ben says, now go to our Facebook page. We retweeted it. Go to our Twitter and judge for yourself what you think. Because Ben says, I think the court will look good on TV and will really appeal to recruits. I agree with that. You know what's not going to appeal to recruits?
The record?
Empty seats.
Yeah.
Losing games?
Well, there's a new guy in chat,
and they're trying
to change that.
Yeah, these are all just pieces of the puzzle.
True to the Blue, Corey says, I like it, to be honest. I just don't love it. Corey, this is different Corey. This is North Dakota Corey. Said, I saw the court. I like it. Encompasses the state of Washington. Adam says, Coug floor looks badass. Rusty Eagle is an Eastern Eagle fan. That's why we know Rusty Eagle's an Eagle fan.
Oh, is he? Okay.
Yeah.
Brian says in the Tri-Cities they call that the cable bridge. The blue bridge is the cable bridge.
The blue bridge is the blue bridge. The cable bridge is the other one.
Oh, okay.
I didn't know which one it was because
But that's what's depicted as the cable bridge.
Yes. There you go. All right.
Rusty Eagle was a Husky, by the way.
I thought he was an Eagle fan.
I think he was on the swim team at UW.
Oh, at UW? Okay, I apologize then. Sorry. Well, you know what? There's two Husky fans that have chimed in, and they're both pissed off that the Space Needle is in Pullman.
Two Husky fans?
Yes.
Yeah. I want to point out that Rusty, I didn't realize he was a swimmer, but that seems to fit. If you towel off a little bit more, man, you won't get rusty. You got to get dry so you don't, the rust doesn't set in.
Wow. See what you like. You go to the Facebook page. You can go to Twitter. It's WSU Athletics put it out.
Muffler Ryan's saying what he's saying is WSU is Eastern Washington, and it should depict only Eastern Washington.
They are Washington State University.
And they're using this court to tell people we have a presence everywhere in the state.
Now, remember the whole strategic plan that they came out with over the summer?
Yep.
Part of that was encompassing much more their regional coverage, not just, in the Palouse, but that they are in Vancouver and they are in Seattle and they are in Spokane and they are in Tri-Cities. That's what they're trying to do, is they're trying to say we're everywhere, including on the top of the Space Needle. That's what they're saying. Oh, yeah. Needle, we're on the top of the Space Needle as well.
With a
poke.
With a flag. All right, we're going to take a time out. It's Patchin and Lukens here in the Frostbrook Coors Light Studio, 700 ESPN, 105.3 FM.
This is your Coors Light Eagle Minute. A look at Eastern Washington University athletics. I'm Larry Weir. The Big Sky Conference today released their preseason all-conference teams for men's and women's basketball. No Eagle women were represented on the 7-woman team for this season, but on the men's side, senior forward Mason Peatling and junior guard Jacob Davison were both named to the 6-man preseason all-conference team. Tomorrow, the predicted order of finish for the upcoming season will be released for both the Big Sky men's and women's races. Congratulations to freshman women's golfer Stephanie Heimler, who was selected as the Big Sky Conference Women's Golfer of the Week. She finished tied for 10th individually in an 18-team tournament in Tacoma this week and shot a second-round 70 for the low score of her young career. The Eagles won't play again until February. The volleyball team will be in action, playing at home tomorrow night against Southern Utah, starting at 6 on Reese Court. And the women's soccer team also hosts Southern Utah. That match will be played Friday afternoon. That's your Eagle Minute, brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light. Mountain cold refreshment made to chill.
Your local forecast brought to you by Wendell Ford, Wendell Nissan, and Wendell Pre-Owned. Over 500 vehicles in one location.
So much wet weather in the forecast. Hi, it's Chris Crocker in the 4 News Now First Alert Weather Center. Rain tonight, an overnight low of 44 degrees. For Thursday, some showers off and on, windy conditions, gusts to 30 miles per hour and a high of 55. More rain coming in Thursday night into Friday.
Your local forecast. Brought to you by Wendell at the Y. Online at Wendell.com.
Out here, there are many jobs to do. You need the kind of power, versatility, and comfortable handling that comes with your territory. Luckily, there's a tractor built to pull all that weight. The Kubota L Series. Get an L Series tractor for 0 down with 0% APR financing for 60 months, plus a 6-year limited powertrain warranty. Now through December 31st, 2019. See us or go to KubotaUSA.com for more information.
Stop by Coeur d'Alene Tractor, Adams Tractor, and Boundary Tractor for all your Kubota sales and service needs.
Imagine a financial services partner fully invested in your success. I'm JD Allen, branch manager with Baird. Baird was founded on the simple premise that clients come first. Being privately held has kept that idea front and center for a century. Because as employee owners, all of us at Baird know our success depends on yours. You and Baird, imagine where we can go together.
Visit BairdSpokane.com.
Hey, Grandma, what's up?
The TV's broken.
It can't be broken. You're watching it.
I can't get my program.
Well, that's because they changed it.
What do you mean?
You see, the channel's coming in differently now on another frequency. All we got to do is rescan your TV with the remote.
You sure? Don't mess it up now.
It's all good, Grandma. If I get stuck, I can go to fcc.gov/TV rescan or call 1-888-CALL-FCC.
Summer might be over, but there's still time to make some great memories at Avondale Golf Course in Hayden Lake. With fall rates, you can enjoy 18 holes for just $37. And coming up, it's the 9-hole glow-in-the-dark tournament, Saturday, October 19th. Dinner from the Grill at Avondale is included with your registration. Speaking of the Grill at Avondale, there isn't a better place to watch your favorite football or baseball games. So get on out to Avondale Golf Course and make some memories before it's too late.
Time out for a GMC price challenge. Save up to $10,000 on the Sierra 1500 pickup, Yukon XL, and Acadia SUV at Becker Buick GMC. Closeout pricing on all 2019 trucks and SUVs. Road construction discounts on all 2020 models in stock. While you're at Becker, check out the GMC multifunction tailgate. Top dollar paid for your trade-in. Becker Buick GMC. 6 blocks east of Division on Sprague. Warranty forever on all new and most used. #1 in customer satisfaction.
Hospice of Spokane is more than a service, it's a partner who gives dignity to your loved one. Vicky was able to enjoy time with her father during his journey with help from our care team.
I had the gift of spending time with Dad and not worry about anything else. And Hospice of Spokane helped him have dignity to the very end of his adventure.
Hospice of Spokane, the only nonprofit hospice in Northeast Washington.
The show? Missing your fix of Patchin and Lukens? The problem is solved by listening at 700ESPN.com.
ESPN 105.3 FM. It's Patchin and Lukens here in the Frost Brewed Coors Light studio. Welcome back to the show. A couple of quarterbacks from our area that retired today. Brock Osweiler of the Denver Broncos, the Houston Texans, the Miami Dolphins.
I think the Broncos again for a while.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Yes, you're right. He was there. That is correct. A guy who actually, as a sophomore in high school, verbally committed to play basketball at Gonzaga.
Right.
But his career as a quarterback in Kalispell, Flathead High School, progressed so much that he became a college football player at Arizona State, second round of the Broncos.
He played for Dennis Erickson down at Arizona State, yeah.
And then he actually was with Cleveland. Remember that when Houston traded him just to get rid of him?
Yeah.
He made more than $40 million in his NFL career. He retires at the age of 28.
Okay, so which means he wasn't selected in the XFL draft. Is that what that means?
I don't believe he was
he
hoping to be selected
he didn't put his
in the
name
XFL.
up there?
I don't know if he did or
that can't
not.
be coincidental. That today, the day where a bunch of dopey nobodies that can't make it in the NFL got drafted into the XFL, and then today, now, it just so happens, oh, by the way, I'm retiring?
You think?
Absolutely. You keeping his fingers crossed that I don't know the names of any of these dumb teams.
Yeah, I mean, that was just
the
my
Denver
assumption.
Timberwolves would sign him.
No, don't team in Denver, Steve. He earned over $41 million is what he made in the National Football League. He doesn't need to work.
No, I mean, he could actually said, I'll pay you to let me play.
I don't think he would do that. I've talked to him. He's a smart kid. He's not going to do that.
Yeah.
The other guy that retired today is the guy who quarterbacked the University of Idaho to their bowl win a few years ago, Matt Linehan, who was hoping to be drafted today in the XFL draft, yesterday or today.
Right.
His name was not called, and he announced via social media that he's retiring.
That's it, yeah.
And he stated, because I'm waiting for a call that's never going to come.
Yeah, I would think that because he was in the Alliance of American Football that folded after a few weeks. And if he wasn't called on this one, then, yeah, you're right. They weren't calling him. That was probably the last, cold slap in the face he needed that,
right.
It's time to move on. Well, good for him.
I don't worry about Matt Linehan. He'll be successful no matter what he does.
Well, he's a coach's kid, and I'm sure that avenue will be open up to him, whatever he wants to do.
He's a smart enough kid. He's a talented kid, and he'll be fine.
Yeah.
And Brock Osweiler doesn't need a job.
No, he doesn't. He needs somebody to handle his money is all he needs.
Yep.
Speaking of the XFL draft,
no Cougars were taken.
No, I did not see a Cougar name taken.
No.
The Seattle Dragon team, they finished the draft. It was over 2 different days, but the Seattle Dragon team took three former Seahawks, Kason Williams, wide receiver, Keenan Reynolds, the wide receiver / quarterback out of Navy, and Isaiah Battle, the Clemson offensive lineman who the Seahawks got from the Kansas City Chiefs. Seahawks had let him go, so he's going to hook on with this Seattle XFL team along with those other 2 guys. They also drafted Jordan Rose out of the University of Idaho.
Freeman High School.
Yeah. So nice to see they got a few local guys there. They took running backs with their first 2 picks. I'll tell you who they are, but you've never heard of them. Trey Williams, Texas A&M. Kenneth Farrow out of Houston is who they took. A couple names drafted that popped on me. One was Kristen Michael, the former Seahawk running back. He was the number 1 overall pick by the St. Louis Battlehawks. And if you didn't know, the league allocated a quarterback to each of the 8 teams.
Yep.
The league decided here are the top 8 quarterbacks and here's where they are going, and they allocated them to teams. And I don't know if it was a drawing or what method they used to do that. I'll tell you who the Sea Dragons or the Dragons got in just a second.
See, you like that Sea Dragons
yeah,
too?
Yeah, it just rolls off the tongue, but it's incorrect.
I know it is.
The Houston Roughnecks were assigned a quarterback. First of all, I want to tell you who they were assigned by the league. His name is, hold on, hang with me here. It doesn't matter what his name is. They were assigned somebody who had been a quarterback at Temple. He's the all-time leading passer at Temple. With their first overall pick.
Doesn't matter who it is.
With their first overall pick, they took Connor Cook, who played at Michigan State. quarterback. So they basically said, we don't like who you gave us as XFL. With our first pick, we're taking who we think is the best quarterback remaining. They took Connor Cook. I thought that was interesting.
I will tell you that the quarterback that this Seattle took, Brandon Silvers, who played at Troy, he's a good quarterback. I saw him play live twice.
So I saw him play for the AAF.
I saw him play at Troy.
Oh, for Troy, okay.
He had a
they
big
beat
game.
LSU.
Yeah, he had a big game in the Kibbe Dome his junior year. He was good. I liked him.
Okay.
He's a guy. Austin Rico got picked by Houston today. He's from Idaho, and he's from Central Valley High School. So we got two Valley guys going. And then there's another name that will ring a bell, especially if you're a Spokane Shock fan, Nick Truesdale, who played 2 years with the Shock in the AFL in 14 and 15.
As a receiver.
Got selected today
early
by the Tampa Bay team. He was their first pick when you were, because they did it, the draft was funny. They did the draft, skill positions, linemen,
defensive
backs,
and then
the front seven.
Front seven.
Defensive linebacker, defensive tackles, and then an open part of the draft after that. Nick Truesdale got taken by the Tampa Bay Vipers with their first pick
in the skill position
draft. So three guys, and then Jordan Descalso from Eastern Washington, I believe, was picked as well. But no Cougars got selected. So there you go.
Yep. Before that draft, all the players had to sign a letter of intent before they were even drafted, agreeing to the salary structure and all that goes with being an XFL player. So when did they start playing? March?
Late February, early March.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? Here's the thing is, we're not going to know. We're not going to hear anything about this league or this team unless you're going to search for it until after the NFL season is over and camps start. Because you know what? It doesn't matter now.
Nobody now this part is done. Nobody cares until the season starts. It's true.
Yeah. All right, we're going to take a timeout. Patchin, that's, too bad for Matt Linehan. I really feel bad for him. He didn't get an opportunity in this league. So, all right, that's going to do it for this segment. We'll be back with one more segment. Patchin and Lukens here in the Frostbrook Coors Light Studio, 700 ESPN, 105.3 FM.
Summer might be over, but there's still time to make some great memories at Avondale Golf Course in Hayden Lake. With fall rates, you can enjoy 18 holes for just $37. And coming up, it's the 9-hole glow-in-the-dark tournament, Saturday, October 19th. Dinner from the Grill at Avondale is included with your registration. Speaking of the Grill at Avondale, there isn't a better place to watch your favorite football or baseball games. So get on out to Avondale Golf Course and make some memories before it's too late.
Time out for a GMC price challenge. Save up to $10,000 on the Sierra 1500 pickup, Yukon XL, and Acadia SUV at Becker Buick GMC. Closeout pricing on all 2019 trucks and SUVs. Road construction discounts on all 2020 models in stock. While you're at Becker, check out the GMC multifunction tailgate. Top dollar paid for your trade-in. Becker Buick GMC. 6 blocks east of Division on Sprague. Warranty forever on all new and most used. Number 1 in customer satisfaction.
A healthy life is a happy life. I'm Robin Nance.
And I'm Derek Dice. This month's Happy Life coverage is dedicated to women's health.
Too many of us put our own health on hold to take care of our loved ones.
We're putting the focus on you.
Learn how to set healthy goals, what questions to ask your doctor, and the medical tests you shouldn't put off.
Take control of your health.
Go to KXLY.com for news for your happy life and watch Good Morning Northwest and 4 News Now all this month.
Dave Smith's annual Low-Tober sales event is here. Find new roads and save up to $17,000 off new Chevy Silverado trucks during Low-Tober. Find out why we are the Northwest's largest GM dealer. 800-635-8000. DaveSmiths.com.
The Seahawk defense gets a boost this week. I'm Dennis Patchin with his Coors Light, 700 ESPN, 105.3 FM Spokane Sports Center. Jared Reed returns from his 6-game NFL suspension this week as the Seahawks will host Baltimore on Sunday. Reed had 10.5 sacks last year from his defensive tackle spot And head coach Pete Carroll says when Reed's back on the field, he makes everyone on that side of the ball better. With an injury to starter Lucas Perrick, the Spokane Chiefs have made a deal for a netminder. The Chiefs have added 18-year-old goaltender Brett Ballas from the Prince Albert Raiders. The Chiefs will be sending a draft pick to the Raiders for his services. Spokane on the road this weekend for a pair of games at Prince George. The Washington Nationals headed to the World Series for the first time in franchise history with a sweep of the St. Louis Cardinals in the NLCS. That makes the Seattle Mariners the only franchise currently in baseball to have never played in the World Series. The 700 ESPN 105.3 FM Spokane Sports Center is brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light. Mountain cold refreshment made to chill.
Hey, time to give Zero Res a call and get them into your house for some fall cleaning. And that leads you right into the holiday season and the winter months where you're going to be indoors. And, of course, you want, because you're going to be indoors more, you want the cleanest, healthiest environment possible for you and your family indoors. And the Zero Res people can clean that carpeting of yours to leave it as clean as it's been since it was new. And because there's no dirt-attracting residues from a soap or a shampoo left in there, their powered water is the only cleaning agent, H2O. They clean it the right way, and they eliminate more dirt being attracted back to the area. If you have them clean your vents, it's a separate service, but if they clean your vents for you, now when your heat kicks on this winter, it's not going to be blowing dust, dirt, and allergens everywhere in your home. When Zero Res cleans, they use a negative air system in your vent system, hook into the base of the vent system, pull everything down into a high-powered suction machine, seal it off, and wheel it out of your house. Now you're good 2 to 3 years between vent cleanings, and once again, those particles aren't blowing around your house every time the heat kicks on this winter. Winterize your home on the inside and let the good people of Zero Res do it for you. They will take care of your home like it was their own. Call them at 92 Clean. Tell them Rick Lukens told you to call 92 Clean, or book online at ZeroResSpokane.com. Zero Res carpets and air ducts, the right way to clean.
Back to Two Cold Ones in the Frost Brewed Coors Light Studio. It's Patchin and Lukens.
700 ESPN 105.3 FM. It's Patchin and Lukens here in the Frost Brewed Coors Light Studio.
Remember the name Leanne Walker. She might be going into the Guinness Book of Records.
Leanne Walker?
She's a professional golfer who has been off the ladies' tour
I saw this.
for quite a while.
Yes, she has.
And decided to play in a senior event in French Lick, Indiana. All right?
The home of Larry Bird.
The home of Larry Bird. So she showed up to play. Now, I said she hadn't played in a while. So she's out there playing with a lot of the gals who have been making some of the senior tour stops for the LPGA. She ended up the 2 days of the tournament because she didn't make the cut. She ended up the 2 days of the tournament with 58 penalty strokes. 58 penalty strokes.
As opposed to 57 or 60?
Yeah. Now, I'm going to tell you this right off the bat. If you take away the penalty strokes, she still would have missed the cut by a shot. So it's not that tragic. But how do you get
missing the cut by a stroke, just putting the worst score
to
ever?
Missing it by 59 strokes?
Wow.
Yes. Here's what she did. She went through the entire first day where she shot over an 80. Okay, the second day she shot a 74. She was pretty good. The entire first day she shot over 80. And she did it with her caddy, where her caddy would get behind her and they would line up a putt and talk about it. Now, the newer rules in golf is if your caddy is behind you, you have to clear the line and then walk back in to putt. You can't stay on that line and then walk up and putt after you've been coached by your caddy. All right?
Yep.
And she did that on several holes. She went through the entire first day doing that, and then by the 14th hole of the second day, two of her playing partners said, "Hey, man, you're doing this wrong, and we just want to tell you, okay?" So then she called over a rules official who said, "Okay, it's 2 strokes for every time you've done that. Now we have to go ahead and continue fit. We'll figure it out." And amazingly, she remembered she had done it 21 times the first day, which is 42 strokes. And she said she did it 16 times the second day. That's another 32 strokes. 54 strokes in penalties. Got to be a record.
I don't think anybody will ever break that.
Apparently, she had good humor about it. Otherwise, she would have missed this. She could have gone home and said, "Man, I missed the cut by 1 stroke." I missed the cut by 59
How
strokes.
come somebody in her group didn't tell her before?
55 strokes. I don't know. Maybe they just, it's like it's not that. Maybe they think it's not that big a deal. Just let her go.
She's not making. That to me, and just so you know, the last time she played, caddies could do this.
Yes,
they changed.
It's
the
a
rule.
newer rule. It's
yes.
a newer rule.
So
yeah.
so she wasn't blatantly cheating here.
No. When she was told of it, she called a rules official over right away. So I don't know why they didn't tell her about it before. Maybe they just thought, let it go.
Were they worried about her winning?
I don't think she would have missed the cut. So I don't know. I don't think she shot over 80 the first day. I don't think anybody was worried about it.
How come a rules official didn't tell her? How come somebody didn't tell this nice woman you can't do this?
I don't know.
All right, that's going to do it for our show today. Coming up tomorrow, Steve Spurrier Jr., the outside receivers coach, will join us. We'll have our college picks as well. We'll be live at Northern Quest Resort and Casino at Epic. Hope you can join us. Patchin and Lukens. See you tomorrow at 3, 700 ESPN, 105.3 FM.
Mercedes-Benz. Drive the best or drive nothing at all. If those words speak to you, it's because you expect more than mere transportation and more than mere service. Mercedes-Benz of Spokane is the winner of the Silver Laurel Award, given to only a select few dealers in the nation. Visit during the Certified Pre-Owned October sales event for incredible lease offers. Mercedes-Benz of Spokane, part of the Gee Automotive Group in Liberty Lake and online at SpokaneMercedes.com.
Honey, it's like the North Pole in here.
Looks like we have to call Dr. Andy.
Did someone page Dr. Andy? Ma'am, it looks like you may need a furnace tune-up.
Don't let this happen to you. Page one of our highly trained Sturm technicians today for your $99 furnace tune-up special and save up to $1,600 in manufacturer rebates and an additional $2,155 in utility rebates when you upgrade to a new high-efficiency system from Sturm today. Sturm Heating and Air Conditioning, your one-stop service shop. Contact us today.
Strict attention to detail. That's what sets Kubota construction equipment apart. It's how we maximize performance, increase strength, and give you the dependability you demand. We engineer our equipment precisely at every level. It's what makes us a leader. Now get financing as low as 0% APR for up to 60 months. Now through December 31st, 2019. See us or go to KubotaUSA.com for more information.
Stop by Coeur d'Alene Tractor, Adams Tractor, and Boundary Tractor for all your Kubota sales and service needs.
This winter, store your boat indoors where it's dry and protected from the elements. Hagedon Marine Boat Storage offers dry, safe, fireproof indoor storage, but space is limited. Regardless of your boat's size, make, model, or whether it's with or without a trailer, they can store it. They also offer land or water valet pickup service and fall freeze protection services. Winter season storage starts at just $684, so store with the best. Visit HagedonMarine.com/storage.
It's that time of year again for 4 News Now presents Coats for Kids. All you have to do is gather up your new or gently used coats and drop them in a bin at any of our sponsor locations. Then we'll get them cleaned at Alsco and delivered to children in need in your community. Collection goes until October 25th.
Keep kids warm this winter by donating any gently used or new coat.
It's as easy as grabbing a coat, dropping it in the bin at any Safeway and Albertson store. Thank you very much.
And this corner is Bob, the Beast of Bar Graphs, using Dayquil Severe to face off against his cold. Bob's cold was coming at him from all sides. Head, chest, right nostril, left nostril. Oh, Dayquil Severe! What a game changer! He's out of his bed sheets, wrecking his spreadsheets, bodies slamming his sales reports. With Dayquil Severe, Bob's cold is out cold.
Dayquil Severe, the daytime coughing, aching, stuffy head, fever, sore throat, power through your day medicine. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Warning, this product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical, not for sale to minors. Website restricted to adults 21 and over.
Let's be real. Most smokers aren't looking for some overcomplicated vaping machine. That's why we created MyBlue. MyBlue is simple. Our pre-filled liquid pods mean there's no mess. One charge and MyBlue lasts all day. And with our range of flavors and nicotine options, you have a choice. MyBlue answers on what matters for smokers. Real nicotine satisfaction. And right now, try MyBlue for $1 at select retailers or myblue.com.
Broadcasting everywhere.
What's up, world?
Patchin and Lukens, weekdays at 3 at 700ESPN.com.
On the Vandal Sports Network from Learfield IMG College.
Deep down the far sideline's got a man. It is caught into the 20, to the 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Idaho.
This is the Paul Petrino Radio Show, presented by Latah Credit Union. Latah Credit Union, strengthening communities neighbor to neighbor. Also brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. ProjectFilter.com. Are you ready to quit? Call 1-800-QUIT now. And by Coca-Cola. Share a Coke with a teammate, rival, or a friend this season. Now, here is Vandals head football coach Paul Petrino and your host, Dennis Patchin.
Hello again, everybody, and welcome to another night of Idaho Vandal football talk, as it is time for the Paul Petrino Show. Thanks so much for being with us. Head coach Paul Petrino is joining us tonight. Thanks for being here. How are you?
I'm doing all right. Thanks for having me.
You had a chance to take a second look at the game Saturday against Portland State. After you got a chance to look at the tape, the film, what did you see?
Yeah, it was defense played well. I think the defense, they did some good things. They played good. They put us in situations where we had a chance to win. They can't get penalties on third downs. We had a couple penalties on third downs that we can't do, but overall, thought they played well. Christian Ellis ran around, made a lot of plays. Trey played good like he has been. Chuck played good. It was good to have Coyote back. That helped. I thought Lloyd did a good job in the secondary, but overall, I think they did a lot of good things. Offensively, the first quarter, we controlled the ball the whole quarter. We had 21 plays to their 7, and we didn't get any points. We got down there the first time, make a check, run the speed option. We would have been on the 13-yard line going in. We clip on the backside, and then the other time we're down there 2nd and 5. We get a motion penalty, backs us up, and then we throw an interception in the end zone. So those are two huge drives where we could have took control of the game and had the lead, and the way the defense was playing, I think it would have put us in good position. So we just got to play, you're out your best receiver and best running back and 2 O-linemen, but there's no excuse. We got to play better. The guys that play are playing, and we just got to play better on offense.
Was it just missed execution? Is that what it was for your offense there?
A little bit of both. I don't think one position group really played the way they've been playing. I don't think we played as well anywhere. And so when that happens, then you're not going to play as good. I don't think we played as well up front. We didn't play as well at receiver, running back. I think Logan Kendall played good. He did a lot of good things. He did get the penalty on the speed option, but he played very tough and did a lot of good things. And Connor Whitney did some good things and played hard, but overall as a whole group, we just didn't play well enough.
Is that disappointing for a coach when you've seen your guys do that? You expect them to play a certain way, and I don't want to say en masse, but for the most part of the game, that group just didn't.
Yeah, they
click.
just didn't. The first quarter, I think we did. I think the first quarter we played the same way we've been playing all year. We moved the ball, we controlled the ball, we kept them on the sideline, but we were just 1 or 2 plays short on both drives, really hurting ourselves. But then after the first quarter, we just didn't really play very well, and that's my fault. That goes to coaching, and we got to do a better job. We got to be prepared better, and we got to go out there and play better. So, have a good week of practice this week and go out there and execute and stay on the field and score points. We got to do that.
We saw Colton play. What was the decision to take Mason out and put Colton in at quarterback?
Mason took a real big beating against Weber State, and then that third play of the game, his third or fourth play of the game, he took that big hit on the roughing the passer, and I just felt like he wasn't himself. He wasn't moving. He was a couple steps slower than he normally was. I think things I just didn't think, and looking back on it, I probably should have took him out right when the hit happened. And kind of even all week going in the game after the beating he took at Weber, I wasn't 100% sure. So that was just something that I thought would give our team the best chance to win. So that's why we did it.
I thought at times Colton had some moments in that game.
He did a couple good things. Yeah, he did. He made a couple nice runs. hit a couple passes. Then we just got to get consistent after those, then to stay consistent and get the ball in the end zone and get points, But either one of them that was in there, they got to get the other 10 guys to play better and help them out. I think the other guys around them got to do things to help them.
Those guys are really different at that spot. Mason is really elusive with his feet. Colton's a big guy who can stand in the pocket, and we saw it on a couple completions, just take a hit and shed it off and throw the pass. Is that harder for your offensive line when you make a switch from one quarterback to the other when they're so different in the way they play, especially passing the football?
Maybe a little bit. It's just a little bit different skills and what we do and how we call some things. But really a couple of Colton's plays that he had his best plays on were Mason's plays. A couple of them were stuff we'd practiced all week. His first long run, that was a read run play, and they came running down. I don't think they worried about him, and they came down and took the back, and there was nobody out there. So a couple of his best plays actually were on stuff that we do a lot of time with Mason.
Mason okay to play this week?
That'll be a day-to-day. That'll be something that we evaluate as the week goes on and make that decision at the end of the week.
Okay. Let's talk a little bit about what you need to see out of your team in practice this week, because obviously you didn't see what we saw in the game in practice last week.
We practiced well last week. That's sometimes even more frustrating. We just got to go out there and get back executing, and we got to do a good job on offense of really being who we are. I got to make sure that I stay that way also as the play caller and be who we are and do what we do well and use our talents to the best of our abilities. Hopefully we'll have Jeff back. That's a huge difference maker in the run game and the pass game, because it makes them worry about him, and it really helps us in the run game. And then it helps obviously in the passing game because he's our best receiver, and it makes him be able to do all that stuff, and Cottrell and the other guys be able to do what they do. So I think that would be a huge bonus if we have him back.
Paul, when you get a key, and we don't know if Jeff's coming back yet or not, as we talk about this, we'll see on Saturday. But when you get a guy back who's a big play guy for your offense, doesn't matter if he's a quarterback, a running back, a defensive back, a linebacker, anything, what does that do to the rest of the guys on that 11-man unit?
I think it brings a lot more confidence to them. I think it brings confidence, and they've all seen him make the plays, and it just brings a lot of confidence and stuff. But we played well in the second half against Weber without him, but that kind of just happened, and I don't know if anybody really realized, we got the younger guys got to step up and make plays and do good things. But obviously if Jeff's out there playing, he's a really good player, and that helps a lot.
Well, and that's part of being, when you're a young player, is you may not be starting, but you're always one snap away from getting in, and you better be prepared to play, right?
Yeah, especially in the game of football, because you're one snap. I think we've played with a different lineup in the O-line every game this year. Those guys have gotten beat up a lot, so that's just, they got to be ready to step up and go in there and play their hardest, and we just got to execute. And it's going to be real important this week that we stay on the field. Then we got to get points too.
We'll talk a little bit more about Idaho State coming up a little bit later on in the program. Paul's going to rejoin us coming up in a few minutes, and we'll talk to him. And we appreciate you being here, and we'll see you in a little bit.
All right, thanks.
All right, Paul Petrino will rejoin us coming up here in just a few minutes. I want to remind you, the Paul Petrino Show is presented by Latah Credit Union. To become a member and enjoy the many sound financial services available to you, visit latahcu.coop. That's latahcu.coop. Latah Credit Union, strengthening communities neighbor to neighbor. When we come back here on the Paul Petrino Show, we'll be joined by Trey Walker, the outstanding linebacker, leading tackler on this Vandal team. Just a sophomore. We'll visit with him coming up next here on the Paul Petrino Radio Show, brought to you by Latah Credit Union from Learfield IMG College.
Vandals are one of a kind. Show your Vandal pride wherever you are. Get your gear on, Idaho. We have the best selection for every Vandal in your tribe. The Vandal Store, where your purchases support University of Idaho students. Easy to shop locations on campus, on Idaho Street in downtown Boise, and at vandalstore.com.
Latah Credit Union is proud to be the presenting sponsor of tonight's Vandal Coaches Show and proud to provide competitive financial services. They're a financial cooperative, meaning they can save you money on lower loan rates and fees using profits to provide their members with account services that you need. Free checking accounts, financing your dreams with one of their affordable personal loans, and more. Become a member today at latahcu.coop. latahcu.coop. Latah Credit Union, strengthening communities neighbor to neighbor. Accounts insured by American Share Insurance.
My name is Lisa, and I smoked for 16 years before I finally quit. When I was a smoker, I didn't want to do things that wouldn't allow me to smoke. I never went on a field trip with either one of my children. All the field trips to the zoo, I missed all of that because that little round stick was controlling so much of my life. Now I can do any of that stuff. It doesn't matter. Call 1-800-QUIT-NOW or visit projectfilter.org.
What does ICCU stand for? For hard work, for the home team, for a rainy day, for bucket lists, for the late night cram sessions, for the dream home, for family, for now and the future, for when everyone else said it couldn't be done. What does ICCU stand for? For Idaho. Idaho Central Credit Union, looking after your daily balance.
Coors Light presents A Word from Kirk Herbstreit.
It's Saturday morning, and that means it's time for college football. It means your fridge is filled with Coors Light. It means last night's pizza is this morning's breakfast. And washing it down with your first Coors Light of the day is worthy of an ah. It's Saturday morning, and it means showers are optional.
Make Saturday mornings even more chill with a fridge full of Coors Light, the official beer of Saturday morning. 2019 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Celebrate responsibly.
The Learfield IMG College Directors Cup, the highly recognized mark of distinction in college athletics across all divisions, both men's and women's sports. Follow your favorite team's pursuit for excellence in this prestigious annual award through thedirectorscup.com, USA Today, or L Directors Cup on Twitter. Learfield IMG College Directors Cup, the crowning achievement in college athletics since 1993.
The Vandal Store has something for every Vandal in your family this fall. Stay warm in Vandal style. We've got Vandal jackets, hoodies, and hats. We are your store. The Vandal Store, where your purchases support University of Idaho students. On campus, on Idaho Street in downtown Boise, and at vandalstore.com.
Welcome back to the Paul Petrino Radio Show. Thanks so much for being with us tonight. A reminder that Vandals are one of a kind, so show your Vandal pride wherever you are. Get your gear on, Idaho. We have the best selection for every Vandal in your tribe. It's the Vandal Store, where purchases support the University of Idaho students. On campus, on Idaho Street in downtown Boise, and online at vandalstore.com. We are now joined by Vandal linebacker Trey Walker. Thanks for being here. How are you?
Good, and yourself? Thank you for having me.
We appreciate you being here. You have more tackles right now, solo tackles, than anybody else has total tackles. What's up with that?
Man, it's great feeling, great stat. Trying to work hard and just keep running it up.
You played a lot as a freshman last year, and you were very productive, but this year seems to be different. Is that just being a year older, another year in the system? You're playing, not thinking?
Yeah, just being a year older in the game and having more knowledge and more comfortable with our scheme and how to where I fit in the defense and my role as the leader, and just going out there and be able to play my football and ball.
Was it an adjustment for you this season? Last year you kind of had a little bit of a backup role. You started a couple games. This year you're the dude. You're the man. Was it a bit of an adjustment through spring and fall camp, knowing your role is going to be this way this year?
Yes, it was an adjustment, but the adjustment was more on my work ethic and how much more I had to work, knowing that I was going into the starting role and that I was not about to be coming out the game. So it was just more on getting my mind ready for taking 70 snaps a game and going out there and just me staying in the game the whole game and playing hard.
Now, you playing middle linebacker is more than just running around tackling people. You're kind of making calls. You're kind of doing things on the defense. Talk us through all of that. Just, I don't necessarily need a call, but from the time the play is over, what's your job until it's snapped?
From the time the play is over, my job is to look at the coach, get the call that they're getting in, relay it to the rest of our team, make sure everybody's lined up correctly, line up the D-line, look at the offense formation, check, see what formation that they're in, what tendencies come from that formation, if it's a run, pass tendencies, what percentages are higher, and just relay all that information to my team so we can be in the best opportunity to stop them.
All right, your description took longer than it does to snap the football. So how do you go through that quickly?
It's all just in your head. You just look at it and on the fly. It was just seeing it and just yelling.
How long did that take you before you were comfortable doing that?
It was always natural. I've played linebacker my whole life. It was my the only position I've played on the field on defense. So it all came pretty natural.
So you've been a linebacker since what? How old when you started playing?
I started playing six
okay.
years old, 5 years old.
So as a 6-year-old, were you a nasty individual? Because that's the way you play on the field right now.
I would like to say I was.
What was it about linebacker? Because I know you're a running back. You played running back in high school. You were actually the MVP of your conference, 1,000-yard rusher. But what is it about linebacker?
It's just fun. Linebacker, I like doing the hitting instead of taking the hitting. So that's just a different type of adrenaline when you go in and you see the gap open up wider, and it's just you and that running back, and it's up to whoever comes the hardest and makes the tackle.
I have had many coaches tell me that linebackers aren't made, they're born. Do you believe that?
100%.
Why?
It's a different mindset that you got to have compared to every position on the field. At that linebacker position, you got to have that dog in you, that nasty, that grit to just want to go out there and just hurt somebody.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. It's a very physical position, right?
Yes, sir.
So how do you feel at the end of a game?
Hurt. After the game, it takes a toll on your body, but if it's a victory, it don't really matter.
Yeah. How long once you play a very physical game, and you played, you've got 78 tackles. You're on pace to have a top 10 tackles single season history. You're on pace to have that number. How long does it take you before you really feel 100%? Or do you even feel 100% before the next game?
100% as compared to my body as before season, no. But 100% to in-season body, yes. It takes to after the game. Sunday we come back and do a little run, get them little run in and stuff. And Monday we have off. So by Tuesday I try to be back to 100%.
Okay, so by that first practice is your goal to be back to where you need to be.
Yes, sir.
All right. Let's talk a little bit about how you wound up here at Idaho. You're from Central California. How does a guy wind up here at the University of Idaho?
I was born in Dos Palos, California, moved out to Fresno my junior year of high school for better competition, better football, and more recognition. Moved out to Fresno. Coach Brown had started recruiting me there, and he offered me. And I came on my visit in December, and I just fell in love with it. It reminded me of my hometown. And it was a small town, the family atmosphere, and everything just seemed like somewhere I want to be, so I committed to the University of Idaho.
So was there something when you got here that the kind of the light switch just went on for you? You said when you left, this is my place, this is a place for me?
Yeah, everything, all the cards kind of fell in place. I was looking at the depth charts and stuff, and I was like, I got the opportunity to play here. I got the opportunity to start the next coming up year. So I just looked at it, talked about it with my mom, prayed about it, and it was the best call for me.
It's a long way to go away from home.
Yes, sir, most definitely.
How'd your mom deal with that?
I'm mama's baby, so she was a little hurt, but she comes up here for a few games, and it's okay.
Okay, did you have to convince her, or did she convince herself to let you go here?
She convinced herself.
Okay, that's good. So what are you studying? What do you want to be?
I'm a comm major right now, and
you want to get in my business?
Yeah.
All right.
Somewhat.
How did you come along? How did that come along? How did that come about that you decided that was what you want to do?
I was previously a criminal justice major coming in here. All of last year I was criminal justice. I recently just changed the beginning of this semester to a comm major, and I was just talking to the academic advisor and stuff and just giving her job, like certain jobs that I will be interested
Right.
in, and then she just gave me a major to fit with that job, and then that's when I switched over to comm.
So a comm degree is a wide-ranging field of doing different things. What do you want to do then?
I wanted to do radio. I also wanted to do academic advisory, like Krista does, counseling. So it was a lot of stuff. And she just said comm was the best major to fit with all those interests.
All right. So you have an interest in radio?
Yeah, I could do like radio. I would for sure like this.
With playing music or calling games?
Calling games, like ESPN up there.
Okay.
I can see myself doing that.
All right. Well, that maybe if Ryan Phillips can't make it for a game, then maybe we can put a headset down on you while you're playing. No, Coach Petrino's not going to go for that. You know that.
No.
Let's talk a little bit about your season. Do you feel you're having a good season right now?
I feel like I'm having a decent season as to where certain games that I don't feel like I played to where I want to play at, or the outcome, my production wasn't where I wanted to be at, just like last game too. So it's just, as overall the season's going okay, but I think it could be better.
All right. Where can you get better? Because we've talked about you on the broadcast of how well you're playing this season. Where do you think you can get better in another 2.5 years in a Vandal uniform?
Where I can get better at, it will be more on my pass dropping and route recognition and let's see. Even tackling. My tackling can improve some more too. Also, there's certain tackles that I'm missing certain tackles, 2 tackles a game here and there. So as long as I can keep trying to get those numbers down, drop down and get some turnovers for the team, that's spots I need to improve in. 3rd down and a yard. What's that feeling like when you stop the running back in the hole and don't give up the first down? It's the greatest feeling in the world. I feel like you just won the Super Bowl on that down. All right. Trey, we appreciate the time. Thanks so much for being with us. Congratulations on what's been an incredible year so far, and good luck. Thank you. Appreciate it. All right. Head coach Paul Petrino will rejoin us coming up in just a few minutes. You're listening to the Paul Petrino Radio Show, brought to you by Latah Credit Union from Learfield IMG College.
Patchin and Lukens, weekdays at 3.
So if you were already planning to have dessert, could you have 2 desserts because it's National Dessert Day?
No, I don't think you're ever allowed 2 desserts.
Why not? Work with me here.
Not without shame. No, there's always shame attached to that second dessert.
Why?
Now, you can have it, but no, there's going to be shame attached.
Okay.
Because that's how we are.
Weekdays at 3.
Warning, this product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical, not for sale to minors. Website restricted to adults 21 and over.
Let's be real. Most smokers aren't looking for some overcomplicated vaping machine. That's why we created My Blue. My Blue is simple. Our pre-filled liquid pods mean there's no mess. One charge and My Blue lasts all day. And with our range of flavors and nicotine options, you have a choice. My Blue answers on what matters for smokers. Real nicotine satisfaction. And right now, try My Blue for $1 at select retailers or myblue.com.
Gavin McKenzie, CEO, Build McKenzie.
With more construction projects coming in, we needed to quickly hire a lead recruiter. We wanted someone who was bilingual and had 5 years of HR experience. LinkedIn Jobs matched me with many qualified applicants, but Anna Maria was the one with all the skills that we needed.
A person is hired with LinkedIn every 8 seconds. Post a job at linkedin.com/today and get $50 off your first job post. Terms and conditions apply.
I'm Trevor, owner of 24 Taps Burgers and Brews. We're proud of our serious gourmet burgers. They're as tasty as it gets, anywhere. We've just added a new burger for those with a vegetarian preference. After market testing, we're introducing a serious black bean burger with a taste that'll compete with our finest burgers. You may just want to cross over. With our fresh cut fries and new ginormous baked pretzel, cold brews will taste even better. Try our new dinner choices tonight. 24 Taps Burgers and Brews, 24 North Lincoln.
Hospice of Spokane is more than a service. It's a partner who gives your loved one control over their journey.
They always looked at Mom. If she could have, at the end, she would have thanked them.
I think she felt very held in both warmth, peace, and competence. And she wasn't afraid because of that.
We couldn't have asked for a better ending to her story.
Hospice of Spokane, the only nonprofit hospice in Northeast Washington.
Hey, hon, TV antenna's broken. We can't get our channel.
The antenna is fine. Give me the remote.
What? No.
I need the remote to fix it. We need to rescan for local channels.
Oh, you know everything, huh?
Well, yes, I do. But you were right here with me when they aired the announcement about changes in the broadcast frequency.
Really?
Yeah. Here, it's easy to rescan. You do it.
Okay.
Instructions are at fcc.gov/TV rescan or call 1-888-CALL-FCC.
To be safe.
Welcome back to the Paul Petrino Show. I want to remind you, Idaho Vandal Football is brought to you in part by Project Filter, Idaho's tobacco prevention and control program. What if you quit today? Well, you can, and we can help. Call 1-800-QUIT-NOW or visit projectfilter.org. Paul Petrino rejoins us. Thanks for being back with us. We visited with Trey Walker in the last segment. Tell me a little bit about what you like about. Well, I know what you like about him.
Right.
He's a great linebacker. He's on pace to have a top 10 single season. But what do you like about him, the person?
I just like his intensity and his passion. You know, like he has.
He scared me sitting across from him. I'm just going to tell you.
He has a great passion just to be the very best he can be. You know, I think he shows up. He's got a lot of just. He always has a bounce in his step. He likes to play hard at practice. He plays hard all through. He just shows up every day to be the best he can be, you know, and guys that practice like that end up usually being really good. And he kind of took off in spring ball and all through fall camp. And I've always said it doesn't really matter how old you are. You can be a leader if you're a leader, and he's definitely one of our leaders on the defense and on the whole team. So you just like his passion. You like how hard he plays. You like how much he cares about his teammates and how much he wants to win. And that's you really like that about him.
Does he have that linebacker sense about him?
Yeah, for sure. You know, all the really good linebackers got a little bit of twitch in their eye, and
yes.
He definitely has that. He definitely has a little bit of, you know, he just gets out there and gets ready to go and has some definitely nasty toughness about him and plays the game that way.
Now, he was his junior year was the league offensive MVP, was a 1,000-yard rusher. Did you ever see any tape on him at running back?
Yeah, I saw a little bit of it, yeah.
And?
He was good. Yeah, he was good. We need him on defense right now.
I'm going to guess the way he plays, I'm not guessing he was looking to run away from anybody. He was just looking to run over people.
He was, but he had some moves too. He was a good player.
It's always great when you get a guy like that. He's on pace for over 100 tackles this season and has been playing really well. All right, let's talk a little bit about Idaho State. Was not exactly what happened in the return last year. Have you talked about that at all? Our guys, how do you use last year's game to help you prepare for this year's game, Paul?
Well, I think it's a little bit like Eastern. You know, you gotta, once you've played them, and then you grow to dislike them more, and you grow to have a little bit of an attitude about them, and you know something more about them. Where when it's the first time you play them, you can talk all you want about the history of the schools. The players really don't know them,
right,
and they haven't played against them. So it's a team that, you know, obviously didn't go the way we wanted it to last year, and we've worked on them, and we worked on them also some in spring and fall camp. So it's a game that we definitely have targeted as one that we want to play our very best, and they got good receivers, good quarterback, good running back. Their O-line does a nice job, so our defense definitely is going to have one of their toughest tests they've had.
All right, they don't have the same quarterback as they had last year. They got a young man by the name of Matt Struck. What do you see out of him?
He's good. He can make the throws. He's athletic. He can run. He likes the dome. He probably throws better inside than outside, so that'll, you know, we'll be inside, so it'll be just like him playing at home. But he does a lot of good things, so we definitely gotta do a good job of putting pressure on him and showing him different things, and we got to stay on those receivers. You know, they got the little guy that's super fast and the big guys that, you know, that are strong and make tough catches. So it'll be a big challenge, and I think one of the best things we can do for our defense is stay on the field on offense.
That's really important this weekend, isn't it?
Yeah, we gotta get first downs. We got to stay on the field, and then we got to come away with points. But we cannot have a bunch of 3-and-outs on offense. We have to stay on the field and move the ball and control the ball keep their offense on the sideline as much as possible.
Well, they don't have the quarterback back. 3 of their top 4 receivers from that game a year ago are back. So as Paul talks about those guys, is that maybe your biggest frustration with your offense? Is not the fact that they haven't been able to move the ball. It's just they haven't been able to get into the end zone and or even not get the field goals?
Well, really, that was just last week. I thought our offense played good against Weber, against that defense that they were, and we scored 28 points on offense and 7 in special teams. So I don't really think it's been the offense all year. It's just been last week.
Okay.
I think other than last week, we've really done what we've wanted to do. We've moved the ball, we've controlled it, and we've scored really enough points with the exception of last week. So we just got to get back playing like we played in, really the rest of the year with the exception of Penn State and last week.
Well, but nobody's counting Penn State.
Right.
I mean,
but other than those 2 games, I think offensively, actually, we played well.
Okay. All right. Is it just you just need a consistent effort here? Because you guys have played better here at the Dome.
We have, and we just gotta take care of the ball. We got to stay on the field, get first downs, and then turn them into touchdowns. And that's the most important thing because they're going to score some points. So we got to score more, but we got to keep them on the sideline as much as possible.
What did you say to your team Sunday when you guys got back together?
I just told them that this is homecoming. We were 5-1 here since I've been here in homecoming. We've been good at homecoming. Got all the old people coming back, and you're playing an in-state rival, so that's enough. You should definitely dislike these guys. They're going to try to score every bit as many points as they possibly can, no matter what, in the game. So we need to have a little edge about us. We need to go out there. We need to play with every last bit of ounce and fire and everything in our body and just play a great game and get a win in homecoming.
Homecoming is always an important game for the people who come back, and many people come back. It's the only time they come back, even if they come back not every year, but they come back, it seems, for homecoming. Do players know that? Kids talk about homecoming in classes. You're playing an in-state rival.
I think they know. I think they know that it's a big deal and it'll be a bigger crowd, so that always helps.
Yeah.
There'll be more atmosphere. The crowd will be big, so definitely I think it brings another little thing to it, and just that I think that they'll have a little edge about them just by who we're playing. So we just got to go out there and play our very best and find a way to get a win.
All right, Paul, what are you looking for? What do you need to see to make you happy other than a win when you walk off the field on Saturday?
Just that we play as good as we can play, really. I mean, everybody go out there and give it everything they got and play up to their ability. And if we all do that, then I think we'll be all right.
Really, is that what a coach really is hoping for every week out of his team? Just play as well as you can, and then we'll let the chips fall where they may?
I think so. I think that's what you expect. That's what every kid should expect of himself. Just go out there and give everything you got and go out there and try to earn it. It's a process. Go out there and earn the victory by playing your hardest with great discipline and great detail on every single play, and then that's how you come out with a win.
Good luck on Saturday. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, that is Paul Petrino. When we come back, Jeremy Clevenger from Women's Soccer will join us. You're listening to the Paul Petrino Radio Show, brought to you by Laytalk Credit Union from Learfield IMG College.
Vandals are one of a kind. Show your Vandal pride wherever you are. Get your gear on, Idaho. We have the best selection for every Vandal in your tribe. The Vandal Store, where your purchases support University of Idaho students. Easy to shop locations on campus, on Idaho Street in downtown Boise, and at vandalstore.com.
Hey, I'm Kirk Herbstreit, and I watch college football like it's my job.
It is your job.
I know, but sometimes I like to get out of the booth and chill. Here, have a Coors Light.
Thanks.
So, where was I?
You're on my couch. In my spot.
Oh, is this your spot? It's a nice spot. Great view.
Make Saturday mornings even more chill with a fridge full of Coors Light, the official beer of Saturday morning. 2019 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Celebrate responsibly.
Good neighbors help each other. Become a member of Latah Credit Union and receive the same good neighbor way of doing business. From auto and RV loans, maybe personal loans, or a quick line of credit, you'll gain the flexibility you need to finance all kinds of needs at Latah Credit Union in Moscow and at the University of Idaho Commons, Potlatch, Kendrick, and Plummer, as well as online services just about anywhere you live. Visit latahcu.coop. That's latahcu.coop. Latah Credit Union, strengthening communities neighbor to neighbor. Accounts insured by American Share Insurance.
As an athlete, I thought I was unstoppable until I was injured. But it wasn't my ankle that took me out of the game for good. It was the painkillers. I kept telling myself I could stop whenever I wanted, but the truth is, I couldn't.
Talk to your healthcare provider about prescription opioids and alternatives for treating pain. For more information, visit stopoverdoseidaho.org. This content is the sole responsibility of the Idaho Department of Health and Welfare and does not necessarily represent the official views of the CDC.
Great Floors is proud to support Vandal Athletics, and for over 45 years, we've been proud to provide quality flooring for Northwest families and businesses from showrooms in Meridian, Coeur d'Alene, and 20 other regional stores. We invite you to visit your nearest Great Floor location to shop the Northwest's largest in-stock selection of carpet, hardwood, and vinyl from America's top mills, all ready to install in your home. And Great Floors is now your source for natural stone and quartz countertops, too. Visit greatfloors.com to find your nearest showroom.
The Learfield IMG College Directors Cup, the highly recognized mark of distinction in college athletics across all divisions, both men's and women's sports. Follow your favorite team's pursuit for excellence in this prestigious annual award through thedirectorscup.com, USA Today, or L Directors Cup on Twitter. Learfield IMG College Directors Cup, the crowning achievement in college athletics since 1993.
The Vandal Store has something for every Vandal in your family this fall. Stay warm in Vandal style. We've got Vandal jackets, hoodies, and hats. We are your store. The Vandal Store, where your purchases support University of Idaho students. On campus, on Idaho Street in downtown Boise, and at vandalstore.com.
Welcome back to our Paul Petrino radio show tonight. Just a reminder, tonight's show is brought to you by Latah Credit Union, a financial cooperative, which means you'll save money with lower loan rates and fees. And that's how Latah Credit Union is strengthening communities neighbor to neighbor. Learn more online at latahcu.coop. That's latahcu.coop. We're now joined by Jeremy Clevenger. Thanks for being here. How are you?
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
You're back home for 2 matches this weekend. The women's soccer will play NAU on Friday, Southern Utah, and Senior Day on Sunday. Senior Day?
Yeah.
Where'd it go?
I know. The season flies by, I tell you.
Does it feel like that? I know you haven't had the success you wanted to, but when somebody said it's Senior Day this week, did you go, holy cow?
Yeah, it's, every year it's just kind of like when you get older. Every year the season flies by a little bit quicker. It's fun. We tell the team that, hey, you're going to blink and it's going to be at the end of the season, and sometimes they, don't really take advantage of some moments. But no, it goes by fast. It's crazy. Every year it goes quicker and quicker.
It's one of those things that it doesn't matter, male or female, doesn't matter what sport they play. When I talk to seniors, it's the one thing they all have in common. They say, I didn't realize it would go by so fast.
Absolutely. You blink, and next thing you know, you're a senior and celebrating your senior day. It's crazy how fast time flies.
Is Senior Day hard for you?
It's definitely emotional. We usually do our senior day after the game, recognize. It's. You have the game first, you prepare for that, and then you recognize and honor the seniors that give them so much to the program. So yeah, it's definitely an emotional day for everybody, and for the players, for the seniors, the parents, and definitely coaching staff as well.
I mean, for most athletes that are playing at the level that you're coaching, when they have a senior day in high school, but they all know they're going somewhere. Yeah. They all know they're continuing. This is pretty much the end of the road for almost everybody. Do you see, is it a little different feel? Can you tell?
I think each person has their kind of little bit. Some people are ready for the next step, like anything. Some people are not. And I think it's a mixture of different players. But there is that realization, this is probably it for the soccer my soccer career, and it does get emotional for those, and so yeah.
Do you handle this week differently? And certainly you may handle it differently because you have 2 road games after this week, so it isn't the end of the road, so to speak. How do you handle this week with your seniors?
Yeah, no, Senior Day it's a celebration for seniors. We know we don't handle it any different than our preparation for the games. Obviously, the players know it's Senior Day. They do a little bit of extra for the seniors, decorating lockers and doing something different. So there's a special, I think, I guess, excitement in the air, excitement for the seniors. And the players really get behind, the rest of the team get behind in honoring the seniors for the weekend, pretty much.
The results lately haven't been what you wanted, but man alive, are you guys close. Is that frustrating for you as a head coach when you get right there? And it's the difference of one play in every game, it seems like.
Yeah, no, I think that's definitely been our season in a nutshell. Is we're right there, but haven't quite been able to capitalize. And definitely frustrating when you have success, you do certain things well, but not getting the results. And so it's hard. It's hard for the players. It's hard for the coaching staff. And we hope just to continue to kind of build and grow. Hopefully we can sneak into the playoffs this year. But at the end of the day, we're setting the foundation for the future.
How are you looking at these last 4 games? Because you can get into the postseason, and you're not that far away. You're not that far away from having won 3 of your last 4 of your last 5.
Yeah, no, we're right there. I think it's a scenario where we can definitely sneak in the playoffs, and I think if we do, I'd be honest with you, I don't think there's many teams that want to face us in the playoffs, in the championship. But we got to get there, and I'm just really concerned about focusing day to day. I really want us to go out and do what we do well. Set that culture, set that right aspect of us just working hard, and if it works out this year, great. But we're so young. I want to make sure we're setting the foundation for the future years.
It sounds like every day is important, not just for this year because there's still something to play for, but every day is important for a year from now, 2 years from now, and with your freshmen, 3 years from
for sure.
now.
And that's the thing. We're so young. We're playing so many freshmen, so many players that really even last year haven't played. So this is a learning experience for them as well. And I think that's the difference of us maybe not having success in the conference versus having success is just that experience. So if me as a coach can really focus on the little things, us preparing, great if we have it this year. But I think this experience this year will really help us for future seasons.
There's nothing like having a roster full of juniors and seniors, is there?
Yeah, exactly. That experience is it's undescribable. It's just little things you can't. It's hard to coach and hard to teach, and it makes your life a little bit easier when you have a roster of upperclassmen, for sure.
You had an interesting performance by your keeper this past week. Julia Bayerlein had the most saves for a Vandal keeper in a long, long time, double-digit saves in a game.
Yeah.
Tell me a little about her, about her performance.
Yeah, she had just an outstanding performance, one of the best performances I've seen from a keeper in a long time. We went down to Weber State, and it was a tough environment. They play a man marking system, which is really they just follow you everywhere you go, and it can create a lot of problems for you. And she just was amazing. Just everything that was put into her, she's just clean. The only thing that really beat her was our defender kind of making a mistake and marking the box in the backside. But regardless, everything that came to her was just clean. We even went down a man. We were playing down 10 men at the 2 overtimes, and we had full confidence that we were going to either win or tie in that game because of her. She was just playing at such a high level. So we were unbelievable performance for her. She's a player that is kind of set by behind a few players, and so for her to get that success in her senior year, coming kind of off the bench was amazing, and we're so happy for her and her performance.
What was the reason she was in? Why did you
we just wanted to kind of her distribution was we're fortunate we have 2 very good goalkeepers, 3 with the freshmen, but Avery Fox and Julia, they're fantastic goalkeepers. We wanted to create, Julia just has a little bit of a better distribution, and we wanted to take advantage of this weekend. And she just raised the occasion, and she put herself in that spot now.
When you're in that moment coaching that game and you have a player have that kind of performance, which just doesn't happen very often, can you even enjoy it at that time as the coach?
Oh yeah, absolutely. It gives you confidence. It gives you nothing. We're not going to get beaten. They're going to have to earn it, and that way you can kind of coach a little bit different. You can, be a little more aggressive in your attack. You can do a little bit more different things because the goalkeeper, whether that be a goalkeeper, someone on the field, if they're having that kind of day, you can kind of strategize around it. You can put players in different positions to kind of help you, be successful.
Going to have a lot of people on campus who may only come back once a year or maybe not even come back that often, and they're going to try and take everything in. We got a soccer match on Friday night, got another one on Sunday. So this is your chance to tell the people who've never been to a soccer match why they should come this weekend when they're back for homecoming.
Yeah, no, we hope to get as many supporters and fans out there. I really think, I really think the Dome, the Kibbe Dome for the soccer event, I know obviously it's a true football venue, but I think for a soccer match, it's kind of unlike any other that you see around the country. It gets loud in there. You got the video screen boards. It's just a fun environment, and you don't have to worry about cold.
Yes, as well. Amen to that, brother.
As well. So those Friday night games is nice to have some protection. But I think our players, again, opportunity to support our players, and they worked so hard all year. Maybe haven't got the results that we've wanted throughout the year, but it's a team that's going to battle. It's a team that's fun to watch regardless, and hope we get some supporters out this week.
Northern Arizona Friday night at 7, Southern Utah Sunday afternoon at 1 o'clock here on homecoming weekend. Jeremy, thanks for the time. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Jeremy Clevenger, head soccer coach here at the University of Idaho. When we come back, we'll continue with more here on the Paul Petrino Radio Show as we continue with more here on the, just a reminder, from the Latah Credit Union, Learfield IMG College.
We all know that person. They drink too much, maybe they're addicted to drugs or gambling, and it's affecting their lives. And maybe that someone is you. You think it costs too much, or that you have to spend weeks or months in treatment, disrupting your life even more, and maybe you've just given up. There is an alternative. NAD treatment at Healthy Living Liberty Lake. NAD is a nutritionally based IV treatment done on an outpatient basis. It typically takes 8 to 10 days, but may run longer for certain drug or drug combination addiction. NAD helps to restore mental clarity and function, elevates mood, restores memory, and increases the sense of well-being that years of abuse and suffering may have destroyed.